Okay, I think I'm going to keep my spells as is.
Does everybody's stuff work now?
Looks like.
I appear functional.
So I think I upgraded all those. Yeah, looks like it.
Alrighty. Well then. So I'm guessing, after last week's thrilling, dream sequence thing.
Dream sequence?
Oh, something like that. I'm not quite sure what happened. So let's kind of figure that out, shall we? So
I thought that was all legit.
So you guys get the chest, the elusive what's in it chest, and you get it upstairs that night. Felon just can't keep himself contained and opens it. He gets the pinprick, and it looks like he's taking a little nappy poo.
And that was the whole session. All right, thanks everybody. That's
it. Pretty much. Now, Bryceus, I think you said you were, as soon as you saw Felon get the pinprick, you were doing something. Is that correct?
Probably
it was a
like,
while ago.
Like, oh my god, what's going on? Either, I guess, a medicine check, something of the sort. Did they see him get? Well, he said he got stabbed, right? He got poked.
Yeah, he as soon as he opened it, Felon felt a pinprick and probably said something like "Meh, ow," but in a more Felon voice. Yeah, and then basically just kind of slumped
immediately over. Passed out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you guys are all in the room. I assume it's Felon's room that you guys all went into, and you just see Felon kind of slump over and immediately pass out. So what does that? What reaction do you guys have when you see him, an elf that is known for not sleeping, suddenly, conk out? Are you reaching straight for the chest?
I mean, did we notice, like, did he, like, react in any sort of way, like, wincing as if in pain or, like, grabbing, anything? Like, grabbing his hand or wherever he got poked? Or was it literally he just went, and then just dropped over?
Well, I don't want to speak for Felon, but Felon, what you felt was, it's kind of like a flu shot. Just like a little needle go in, but, like, faster. And you weren't exactly warned ahead of time about it happening. And that's all you really felt.
Okay. I mean, basically all Felon would have stabbed, or basically all Felon would have said is he would have pulled his hand away and said, "Oh, that's interesting," and then would have immediately passed out.
Oh, Phelan. I thought you said you knew what you were doing. Pokes him with the quarterstaff to see if he's, what are you doing?
Briseis will run over and do... Just, like, make sure he's breathing, look... She'd probably think to look at his hands because he was just messing with something. And there were traps on pretty much... Like, she set off a bunch of traps, like, so...
I mean, he would have, like, looked at his hand as he said, "Oh, that's interesting," and then passed out. So
my hands, they're so big.
Cloud, I am suddenly reminded that this happened before with a chest and some slag gold, didn't it?
That was not quite the same thing, I don't believe.
I don't think we should let him open chests anymore.
All right, and so with
was it him that reached? I thought that was me.
Was it you?
I don't remember. It's been so long ago. I don't remember. I remember there was an incident with grabbing for a thing.
Wait, who's grabbing for what thing?
Back in the kobold mines.
Briseis.
I feel like that might have been
set off the one thing that crushed potions, and then there was something with gold.
Yeah, I feel like Cloud was the one who touched whatever Earth. I could be wrong, but again, that's been so many months ago.
Yeah, and that's exactly what led Felon to be like, I'm sure this chest won't do the same thing. It's fine. It's just open it. I mean, all right. So, Bryceus, what exactly are you?
She's looking him over, trying to figure, trying to see if there's something on him. Because I know, his hands, was he poked? Is there just stuff on, skin contact? Just trying to figure out what.
Yeah. So,
because obviously something happened. They just saw it.
So upon inspection, Felon kind of fell over, with his one hand around his other hand. So I'd imagine that would probably be where, and by exclaiming, my hand, Bryceus would probably be like, hand. And when you're looking at his wrist, you do kind of see the tiniest little drop of blood where it looks like a pinprick.
She's probably, not trying, just at first trying, not to touch him, not to touch his hand, his hands with her hand. But just to see, just in case there's something wet on it that she could get hit with. But
yeah, you don't see any oozing or anything like that, and he just, seems very soundly asleep. You grab his hand, and he just doesn't even budge.
But he's breathing, though. He doesn't seem like we don't.
Very deeply, very deep breathing that you actually probably have never seen Felon do
right.
before.
She does have protection from poison now. So I'm just double checking that it should help him. If it is poisoned, you neutralize it.
Okay, you.
Turns out this was the fastest dream sequence ever.
So you cast protection from poison, and
it could take. It's a duration for an hour, so it could take a little bit to actually start working.
Yeah,
that's fair.
You just see Felon kind of curl up, and wiggle a little bit, but still deep breathing, and what looks to be a deep sleep.
Dwayne reaches over and grabs the cover off the bed, yanks it up, throws it over him. Now about this chest.
Why don't we put him on the bed?
He's heavy.
He'll be more comfortable and also out of the way. The last one trying to be practical for his sake,
I'll offer to give a hand.
Whale's sake.
I'll offer to give a hand getting up there. I'm probably not strong enough to do it myself, but
yeah, but
two of us.
She'll help with her one arm if Dwayne is going to be that way.
Yeah.
So through
yes.
Leave
it to the disabled person and the weak and the frail. Cloud's all about speed, not strength.
So Cloud, you're also pretty good at strategizing, it seems like. So you kind of prop Felon's head up on part of the side bed table, and Bryceus, you're picking up his legs, and he's still got all his armor on because you guys didn't get into your pajamas and then open the chest. You just rushed right up. So through some finagling,
and he's total dead weight,
and rolling, and shoving, and grunting, and General Dwayne not helping, you get him on the bed. And he's kind of rolled up and like a little burrito.
Perfect. And after all of this this exertion, kind of flops down on his butt next to the bed, kind of panting a little bit, and just gives Dwayne a look, and it's like, well, that was no problem at all, clearly.
You know what they say about too many cooks in soup?
Considering I'm assuming you've probably never cooked your own soup.
Well, obviously, that would be too many cooks.
So what is Dwayne doing while they're working on getting Felon up into the bed?
Oh, he's supervising. His foot's hanging off a bit there. Now about this chest. Did he manage to get it open?
Yeah, it's it looks to be kind of closed now. You know, the pinprick and the hand jerking back, you know, snapped shut the lid before he had a chance to look inside. But it is sitting there on the floor where Felon had previously touched it. You gonna go reach inside?
I'm gonna take a dagger and put it under the lip and try and lift it up.
Okay. All right. So you do that. You you know, wedge your dagger in there, and kind of flip the lid back, and you flip the lid open. It kind of tilts, you know, through your efforts. The bottom kind of tips up a little bit, but then it flops right back down, and the lid's open. And now you can see inside the chest. Dark fabric lines the chest on all edges. But looking inside, you just see folded over fabric.
So there's like some sort of a bundle in there that's just like wrapped up.
Yeah, it's surprisingly, now that you got Felon all wrapped up like a little burrito on the bed, it kind of looks like, you know, a bunch of cloth all in a big pile. But this fabric is very, very dark, and you don't really see anything, you know, sticking out or anything.
Give it an extremely gentle poke with the tip of my staff. Is it squishy? Is it firm?
So you stick your staff in, and you hear kind
of just kind of nudge.
Yeah, you hear kind of like a weird squelchy sound, and you feel like you've hit something kind of squishy, but you're not quite sure.
Well, that was unexpected.
Like, how far in are you sticking your, just like poking?
I mean, just take the tip of it like against the bundle, and just kind of like it's like a gentle like half an inch nudge.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, the fabric seems to kind of fold around your staff a little bit, and you feel a weird squelchy sound and feel to it.
That's something soft. That's about as much as I'm going to figure out.
If you want something done, create someone to do it for you. Dwayne will cast Unseen Servant. Actually cast it rather than the ritual. Go unwrap that.
Okay, so your Unseen Servant is what, reaching his not hand in?
Yep. You just flipping about the cloth. If it can figure out how to unwrap it.
All right, so as he reaches in, he pulls out a big slab of what looks like meat, but is a very strange color.
I was not expecting this.
Out of character, I forgot. Where did we get this chest from again?
You got the chest off of the very last turned over cart from the fight that you guys had right before you reached Baldur's Gate.
Was that with orcs?
There were orcs. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was trying to remember if it was okay.
Some wizard lady that...
The wizard lady, yes.
Oh, the one... Yeah. Was that the one who... Was that the spell book with the invisible person?
Yeah.
Okay. So this was from the carts from the caravan they had attacked or whatever, right?
Yeah, it was... the chest was found on the caravan that was overturned.
Okay. Just trying to remember.
Yeah.
Dwayne kind of leaned to one side and then leaned to the other, looking at the chunk of meat. Does it have skin on any side of it to indicate what type of animal it might be? Might have been?
Not that you can tell. No. The piece of meat looks pretty crudely cut too. It looks very like you've seen work, picking up and seeing butchered meat go through your kitchen. Of course, not touch your hands. So you've seen what a good cut of meat looks like. This just looks like somebody hack and slashed something and put it in there. Are you continually digging, or are you satisfied with your hunk of meat?
No. The hunk of meat can go to one side and keep going. See what else is in there.
All right. So, reaching back in, your unseen servant also grabs a few more slabs of meat, and then
Is there like a survival check or nature check or something? See if you could figure out what kind of meat that is.
yeah, go ahead. Roll a nature. See if you can, through sniffing and poking.
I have no nature, but
Of all the times for Phelan to be unconscious.
Come on, Cloud.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Just
what? I
question
don't
mark?
have nature either. Like, I'm a flat 0 for that. It's a regular intelligence check for me.
So Bryce says you're like, it smells like.
Is it? Well, okay, that's well. And are we talking just like a big slab of just like a piece of meat, or is there like a bone going through it, like it's a haunch or a limb or
Like a
something?
ribeye.
How big
or
was
it's just like a big section
How
of
big
muscle,
was this
basically.
box, and how big is this meat?
It seems like a piece of meat that's about the size of your head. You don't see any bones coming through it. It's obviously not round like your head, but width.
Yeah, but this box is not like bigger on the inside, right? Like this, it fit.
No, it
It's a
doesn't.
TARDIS.
The inside of the box does not look like it's bigger than the.
It's a meat TARDIS.
Yeah, it's just,
This seems
Because in
a
my head, I
rather-
was imagining a smaller box than like.
Yeah, I think I was too.
you would have to hold it with. It has handles on either side.
Ah.
Okay, hold on. We actually have an image. It's a two-handed wooden chest. It's not huge, but it weighs about 15 to 20 pounds. You definitely would have to carry it with two hands just to be safe. It's not giant, but it's sizable. As I say more things, stalling. Okay, there we go.
Ooh.
It's a box.
Ooh.
These
It
are
is a box.
A treasure box full of meat.
Yeah. So reaching in.
A trapped box full of meat. So there's probably something about this meat.
You want to taste the meat? Anybody want to take a bite?
Fella's unconscious. He can't. Someone's got to take up the mantle.
Of being the taste tester.
Yeah.
You guys gonna wipe it across Felon's face, or?
And this is the point where he's dreaming of breakfast. It seems an odd thing to put under lock and key, especially with a trap.
So, as the servant keeps digging, does eventually the cloth come free? Once there's no more meat?
So he pulls out two more, about the same size slabs of meat, and then is he reaching to try and pull the fabric out, or is he just, digging around?
He basically he's digging around to try and get the fabric out, assuming the fabric, the covering is not attached to the box. He's trying to get down to the point where he can take the cloth out and then see what's at the bottom of the box.
Okay. You see your unseen servant just kind of like you see a clown do that trick where he pulls a sleeve out of like a napkin out of his sleeve, and he just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling, and he just kind of for a while there just keeps pulling up fabric, and you're like, how? You're starting to wonder how much meat and fabric really could have fit into this relatively reasonably sized chest. And then out pops, clanging on the floor, a metal great axe. And then 3 more great axes.
Whoa. Okay, so...
And then a couple
So it's
javelins.
an axe tortoise?
Okay, so
there, buddy.
we are back to the TARDIS, I guess.
So slow down there, buddy. Stop him. Dwell moves over, takes his quarterstaff, and just lowers it a bit into the chest and see how far he can Mary Poppin this.
Well, you Mary Poppin it up to your hand being level with the level of the chest. And
Pop
you
that
no
one
longer
back
see
out.
your staff.
Other
Other than it's in your head. Or you're in your hand. Sorry.
Take my staff back. It's my staff.
You tell the chest that it's your staff, and it is still your staff.
Oh, that's curious.
Now there's a few great axes and javelins, and lots of meat on the floor.
Well, this is very convenient, if a little confusing about the meat.
Well,
So
orcs, right? We got
right, but the chest was on the whatever the wagon that looked like it had been waylaid, right? So we assume this was with the humans, right?
No.
I mean, was it on the wagon?
It was with the wagon coming from Baldur's Gate with the woman who made her escape. So I suppose we should find our way to the bottom of the box, whatever that may be. Now, as the unseen servant's pulling the cloth out, does it look like the cloth is going back and forth so that the meat, like pulling the cloth out, is what is bringing the stuff up?
That is what it looks like. Yes.
Is it like, are they like tied to the fabric?
No, the items
like
that tumble
unfurling.
out.
Okay.
As he's pulling the fabric out, these items are just kind of, they look like they were caught up with the fabric, but not tied to it, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Which none of this does.
So I have a spell that makes things make sense, and it's called Identify. So Dwayle's going to sit down and ritual cast some Identify with some meat around him.
You're going to try to identify the meat?
No, I'm going to try and identify the chest, and if that fails, then identify the cloth and see whether it's one magic item like a tongue, or whether it's coming from.
All right. So, so you're ritual casting these, and 10 minutes goes by. You I assume are doing the chest first. Just work your way outside in.
Yep.
Just a regular old box, it seems like. But when it gets to the fabric, lining the inside, you are excited to find that the fabric that is glued to the inside of the chest through some magical means also has the properties of a bag of holding.
Ooh.
Silence as everybody reads.
Box of
Yeah, box of holding.
Wow.
Does your servant keep pulling stuff out, or is he just kind of standing to the side and letting you?
I think it is Christmas at this point, so we might as well see what's in there. With a little extra care given as he nears each thing that should pop out, like as you start to see something form, so that if there happens to be like a fragile glass jar of alchemist's fire, Cloud knows to jump and cover it with his body for us.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, as your unseen servant continues pulling and yanking on the fabric, you eventually pull it all out, so it's kind of like a inside out. Pulls it as far as he can. The rest seems to be almost sewn to it somehow. But all told, you guys... So all told, you guys have 10 crudely made great axes, 100 crudely made javelins, 10
Just all this stuff stacked up in the room.
Yeah, it's getting real full. 10 sets of really just pieced together studded leather armor. What appears to be 3 like dirty green colored rocks. and another slab of meat.
Green-colored rocks?
Well, I assume the weaponry probably matches the kind of stuff we've seen the orcs traveling with, right?
It looks very similar, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks a little less worn, but similar.
Right. It's quite curious between the war drums and this. It seems like the sort of thing where they can manufacture an army on a very small scale.
That does seem to be what they're doing, but
they've got supplies for an entire legion traveling in a single chest. Plus, assuming he kind of nudges one of the chunks with his foot, provisions, I would assume.
Does seem that way. Well,
coming from Baldur's Gate.
But yeah, let's ask the question: which way was it heading into town or out of town?
I believe it was heading away from
town. It was heading away.
Likely the provisions were purchased here and being taken to supply the orcs or someone.
Or they came in from some other means and they were being smuggled out of town, because it would be far easier to get a single chest past any sort of guards or tax collectors or anything like that, as opposed to gesturing around at the piles of great axes and javelins.
Yeah. And these don't seem to be of a quality that any artisan would put his maker's mark on them, and Dwell sort of poking at them with his staff rather than touch them. They I assume, do not bear any artisan's seal or stamp upon them.
No, nothing that you can see. And in fact, these look pretty... I mean, you guys have seen your share of, great axes and whatnot on the orcs that you've been fighting. And these even look like of a worse quality than the ones that you've seen. Almost as if they were, like, hastily made. Or just, like, inexperienced. Someone put them together kind of thing.
Well, I'm sure someone will pay something for the raw materials, at least.
Did we get off of the anything else from the caravan? Any sort of indications of where it came from or who it was attached to?
Aside from that note indicating that the request has been denied for some book to be given for someone else. What was it said?
Hold, please. Coming up.
There it is, Orc Scroll.
Oh, okay.
Cheaper than the bandits, dedication to the mission, da-da-da-da. Candle crafting duties. Request to give them the book denied. So.
Okay, that was from the cart. What was the... Looking here at our player handout, what was the Flaming Fist logo about?
I think we just saw that on the guards as we approached.
Okay.
But this is quite the find. Now we have a way to transport all the many things that Phelan picks up.
Yeah, you have a good fun time chest now.
Yes.
All right, so it's been
Say, speaking of Phelan, Briseis is going to go over and double check him and make sure he's not running a fever. Yeah. It's just not like, and just in the event it wasn't actually poison and some sort of magical thing.
So yeah, so in your casting of protection from poison, it took about an hour. I'm guessing 30 minutes slowly poking and prodding and pulling fabric out, and then the sorting because the room's getting full of javelins suddenly. So it's been
we make Felon a bed of javelins.
Yeah, they're not pointed at him because that'd be rude, but he might have one or two cuddled up next to him or something. So it's been about 2 hours. And Felon has been surprisingly quiet. Very hasn't even really turned over much at all. But as you guys are kind of sorting through all the things towards the end of that, you hear some rustling and you hear a couple javelins falling off of the bed, and you hear Felon just suddenly shoot up in bed and shout something about, "No, don't take my dinosaurs."
Felon?
What? Yeah, what? Felon just sort of rubs sleep from his eyes and looks around, and he says, "What year is it?"
What year is
Gives
it?
year. Exports
Okay.
year.
Okay.
Word
And
form.
We just got to Baldur's Gate, right?
Well, we didn't
Right?
just
For the
get
first
here.
time, right? Okay.
So,
And okay. Right.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. I'm not okay at all. That thing stabbed me, and then I had I don't know. I guess you could call it a dream, but it really wasn't a dream. It was much more vivid than a dream. And it was in the future, and I think it was important in some way, maybe?
you had a prophetic dream?
I guess you could call it that, sure.
What
How
happened?
often have you been casting augury?
I haven't cast it today, and Felon will relay the events that happened, because I don't want to explain it all since we all did it.
Which you, dear viewers, can watch in our last episode.
Right. But then at the end he'll say, and then she killed us all, and it was awful.
This is why you should never trust servants with power.
Okay, that's not really she wasn't actually the servant, Dwayne. She was clearly something else.
I suppose it was your dream.
It was, I don't know, because she kept changing shape, and it was bad. But
Cloud tries to not be offended at the fact that even in his dream, he went down like a sack of potatoes.
Well, whatever the case with your little dream there, we've acquired a bag of holding that seems secured in some way to the inside of this chest. Making it, I suppose, a chest of holding, though it seems awkward.
Oh, that's cool.
The detritus you see around you is what we found in it, along with these chunks of meat. You seem to have a nose for such things. We assume it's feed for orcs or others. Can you scent beef?
Okay. I will hold the meat and try to figure out what it is.
Can you scent beef?
What sort of roll would you like to figure out what sort of meat this is?
Yeah, same as before. Nature roll.
Okay, nature. Okay. I wish I had inspiration to spend on this, just because it's really good.
Maybe
But,
somebody could have
12.
been helping you by toasting some of the beef, but you were too quick.
Well, I mean, kind of like the other campaign, you guys all have inspiration to start from the amazing dream sequence last time.
Okay, then absolutely spending it on this, because it's totally inconsequential and it's funny to me. So this is what I'm spending it on. This, so I can use that nat 20 to identify this meat.
Okay. All right. So with your 24, you pick up the slab of meat, and you kind of just start sniffing it, and you feel the slime on your hands, and you kind of just gently rub it against your cheek a little bit, and you're like, "Yep, I'd know this anywhere." It's the shoulder of an ankeg.
Yeah, ankeg shoulder, for sure. And I put it back on the ground, I guess, wherever I got it from. Definitely ankeg.
Ankeg meat?
And
the shoulder specifically.
With such a good roll, you also kind of know the history of this kind of delicacy, and you know that it is kind of like the human caviar equivalent to orcs. This is a delicacy to them. They don't get it all that often, and such a fine cut, well marbled, would be a real treat to them.
I see. This is like an orc delicacy. Maybe for a high-ranking officer, this is quite the treat, I think. We should eat it.
If you wish to send that down to the kitchen to be cooked, you certainly may.
Briseus, Cloud?
I didn't know they were edible.
Oh, quite edible.
Remembering having pried himself out of the jaws of one of them not too many days prior, kind of crunkles his nose a little bit and is like, "Pass, thank you."
All right, your loss.
Now, if that's done, Phelan, do you recall whereabouts the needle or the jab you received came from? We've been through the chest and haven't encountered any difficulties with it. I had my servant do most of it, but whereabouts did you come into trouble?
If I remember correctly, it was not the unlocking, it was the opening that did it, right?
That is correct, yes.
It was when I went to open the chest. So I'm going to go down there. Felon is going to see, okay, so I went like this, and he's going to put his hands on the chest exactly the way he did when he went to open it, and then I lifted it up, and that's when it stabbed me.
So, you do exactly the same thing as you did before, and the thing doesn't happen, but your hand kind of instinctively twitches a little bit when you get to the one spot on the chest where it stabbed you. But nothing happens.
Maybe it doesn't reset automatically? Give me a second.
That's probably for the best.
No, we need to figure this out.
Well, it would be best if we did not, one of us fall unconscious each time we attempted to open the chest.
Exactly. See, Dwayne knows. And Felon is going to sit down and try to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, I mean, Felon, you're the most rested you've felt in years, so...
Yeah, this is the only time I've ever slept. It's great. Felon is going to plop himself on the ground and start trying to figure out where this needle came from exactly. And just poking around inside the chest.
Yeah, so I mean, you can start doing that, inspecting all the corners of the edges of the chest. It'll probably take a little while.
Okay, that's fine.
Felon, while you have fun with that, I'm going to go catch up on some sleep.
Yeah, it is still at night. It's
Shit, I had you guys on the wrong map. It should have been night map.
Realized there was a night map. So there's a spooky second Felon over here. Ooh.
Dream Phelan.
all right. So Dwayne off to his room to go get some sleep, leaving his precious chest of holding with Felon, who's cuddling with it on the floor. What are the rest of you doing?
Well, I mean, assuming Felon seems to be okay and doesn't look like he's in danger of keeling over again or isn't acting weird or weirder than usual. Yeah, Cloud will probably settle in for the night if it's getting to that time.
Same.
Yeah, it's about midnight, so
it takes her a bit longer to undo than the others.
all right. So I assume you all go to your respective rooms now that it's a little crowded in here. You guys have all kind of been standing here next to each other, kind of talking about this. So as you guys all disperse, and Felon is left in his room with the mysterious chest, The rest of you retire to your rooms, and as you're falling asleep, you hear like every now and then a little clank, 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 clank coming from Felon's room as, you know, another javelin falls to the floor, or great axe, you're not quite sure.
If only silence was a ritual cast spell.
All right, and the night passes pretty uneventfully. And you all kind of see dawn is approaching. The light starts to change outside of those of you who are lucky enough to have a window to the outside. And you can hear noises coming from downstairs. Sounds like breakfast is getting made. So what do you guys all rushing downstairs? You gathering up your stuff? What are you doing?
Has Felon discovered the source of this needle yet?
In all your searching over the course of the night, you don't discover anything on the chest itself. But you know, at some point, probably at least an hour or two later, you kind of scoot your butt along the floor and you feel another slight little pinprick, and you find a part of a broken needle laying on the floor.
But I can't find like the mechanism that delivered it.
You don't see what could have delivered it. I mean, the wood on the chest has knots and holes in it, but
so it's possible it's just stuck in there. Okay, I'll keep the needle just in case it proves important later. But in the morning, I will go downstairs.
Something you can accidentally poke yourself on again.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So Felon's heading downstairs. You see Dwayne.
Hey, Dwayne.
Phelan, good morning.
Morning. I had a very productive evening.
As you guys are saying your morning greetings, Dwayne, you get a refill on what looks to be, you know, some kind of hot brown liquid into your cup, and Felon, the waitress, comes by you and drops down a purple colored drink and a bowl of gruel. Good morning, Felon.
Good morning. Felon looks at this suspiciously.
She comes back, you hear her running back. Oh, almost forgot. Here you go. And sets down a big bowl of nuts next to it.
Felon is very suspicious again. Oh my goodness, he's so suspicious. He leans over to Dwayne and says, "Did you order this for me?"
Why would I order you nuts? You are nuts.
Hurtful. Felon is so conflicted about this food that's just been given to him. On the one hand, of course he's going to eat it, but on the other hand, he's going to eat it, but he's not happy about it. And he's going to say, I found the needle. And I hold it out to Dwayne. I said, I think it was just stuck in the chest somewhere. I couldn't find a mechanism that delivered it or anything.
Well, at least it's out now, and Dwayne takes whatever he can find that's not his hand to take the needle from Phelan. I guess we should dispose of this.
No. Hey, Felon pulls it back. No, we need to keep it. What if it's a clue?
Very well then. Would you like to put it in, I suppose, wax would be safest?
I've got a little vial I'll put it in. And Felon pulls out a little vial and sticks the needle in and then corks it and puts it back in his bag.
So did the chest give up any additional secrets during the night, or was it just...
No, not really. I mean, it seems like there was no mechanism to deliver the needle. Other than that, it seems kind of benign. Also, did you order me food? Either of you? And I put it Cloud and Perseus.
We just got here.
Nope.
How did she know what I wanted? We've only been here one night, right? I'm not misremembering that. This is the first night we've been here.
Well, I mean, you always tend to order the same thing, right?
Right, but like not here. I haven't been here yet.
Phelan, what year do you think it is again?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know what year it is?
Well, I think it should be current year, but it's just, how did she know?
Well, in whatever case. So, we have the chest, we have the number of javelins which should turn in, and I believe we are due to visit the captain or lieutenant of the Flaming Fist. I must admit, I was a little tired last night when we came in. They're not as tired as you.
I wasn't tired. Just, poison.
Is everyone feeling up to visiting the Flaming Fist and resolving what matters we may? And then, I don't recall, were we thinking to go back and deal with that other band, or had your mind changed a little bit now that we've dealt with the first?
Have we dealt with any of the bands?
Well, the larger orc with the Ankeg armor seemed to be of some importance and matched the description of one of the two bands of orcs that was supposedly troubling the road. The southernmost troubles, or perhaps it was off to the west nearer to Candlekeep, where the other scouting
as
that
you
wish to do was.
As you mention, orc trouble, the gentleman sitting directly behind you, Doyle, kind of swings his legs over the bench, and he says, "I don't mean to interrupt, but I heard you talking about the orcs." And he takes a big swig and kind of tries to shove himself on a seat in between you and Felon. And he's like, "Yeah, those asshole Flaming Fist guys, they aren't doing their job. You know what I'm saying? They can't be trusted." And he sounds not drunk, but he sounds like he's had a great morning already. Yes, he's basically just, those Flaming Fist guys, they don't know what they're doing. You see, they make up the laws, but then they can't enforce them because they got guys going every which way. And those orcs, they're coming here. And he starts tapping the table, and just saying, pretty soon they're gonna get on those gates, and they're gonna come in here, and they're gonna start messing with us. And then, the people outside Baldur's Gate are all gonna be dead, and then it's gonna be us that's next if these assholes can't get their shit together.
Do you have any evidence that the orcs are headed this way?
And he turned after hearing you chime in, he turns towards you and kind of flops down what was in his other hand, which you didn't realize, which is it looks like just a book with a blue cover. And he slams it down on the table, and he's like, well, what kind of proof do you need? I mean, you say there's something, go investigate it. That's their job. I mean, God, they get paid to do a job, but those higher-ups, they don't care what happens to us. They're fine in their little estates, and he puts up his hand and makes puppets somehow, and it's like, they're fine up on the high tower up there, just having a grand old time. But us down here, we're not gonna live to see another day if we go outside those gates.
As he's making the mocking puppets, Felon grabs the book he had in his other hand off the table and starts looking at it and trying to see what it is.
The book on the table looks as you're flipping through it, it looks like it's like handwritten, but on the cover you see a familiar title.
What's the title, Sin?
the title from your dream that I can't remember right now.
Wait a minute.
It's just written in big block letters on the front.
Look at this. I hold it out to Briseus and I point out. Look at it.
And he reaches out. He's like, "That's mine."
No.
Phelan,
do you see this?
you may not steal the man's book.
How did... Look... Dwayne, look at it. Look at the title. Do you see this?
I see the book, Phelan.
Where did you get this? You. I point at the man who sat down here.
What? Give me my book back. What'd you say?
Where did you get this book?
I don't know, the library. Just give me my book back.
This book hasn't been written yet.
Yeah, well, it's a great library. They've way ahead of the times. Give me my book back. I was reading that.
What's your name, sir?
Cloud stands up and kind of puts a flat palm out towards both Felon and the man's like, everyone, calm down. This is a fair question. What's your name, friend?
I don't, but look, what does my name matter?
Because we have some questions to ask you, and I'm Seven Cloud Chaser. This is Briseus. The loud, boisterous, book-grabby fellow here is Felon.
But I think you already knew that. The one who wrote the book, but hasn't yet.
Oh, he just kind of. Oh, you're the one, huh?
Well, sort of. I mean, I haven't written your.
Briseis is sitting there with like her eyes just kind of wide and looking back and forth between each other, having no idea what's going on right now.
Phelan, are
not
you
sure how to chime in?
Read this book at some point and think you wrote it in your dream.
It describes what's happening, Dwayne. And Felon opens the book to a random page near the beginning. Does like trying to find like something from when we were in
So flipping through the book and looking at it in more detail, you read a passage that says something to the effect of, and then as the mists came down, her heaping bosom, something.
Wait a minute.
And
wait a minute.
You feel
Phelan, what
red
have
in
you
the
been
face.
writing?
No, wait a minute. I look at the title again.
Phelan, this explains your little dream sequence with the servant.
Is it still the same title?
It is the same title, although upon closer inspection, the cover seems to be kind of loosely held on and peeling on the corner.
Wait. I peel it off.
You reveal a fairly well drawn cover revealing a woman riding on a horse with a shot of the moon in the back somehow with mists all over and she's riding through a field. And you hear the gentleman kind of lean back towards Doyle and just go, you're still gonna pay for this, right? Then he points at his drink.
You're all good.
Fella just takes the cover that has the title of the book he hasn't written yet on it, and then just slides the book back to the man disgustedly.
He grins very happily and stuffs it in his pocket.
Okay, something is still wrong here, though.
Yeah, those flaming fist assholes aren't doing their job. You're right.
Okay. I'm gonna cast suggestion on him to tell him to shut the fuck up, because he needs to stop now. His time is done. He needs to stop.
I'm more thirsty now. Comment. And he goes away to get a drink.
That's what I thought. Jerk. Felon is very upset about everything that's gone on in the past minute and a half.
Was that really necessary?
No, but it made me feel better.
So does that mean that you won't be doing it again in the future? It's not
okay. Things are happening that don't make sense. How does it have the title of the book that I haven't written yet on it? How did the waitress know my order when I haven't ordered anything here yet?
How do you know that this is the title of the book you're writing if you haven't written it?
Because that's the title it had when I had the prophetic dream.
The one you told us all about?
Yeah, so what's the chance I have a dream about the future in which some weird mysterious entity sends me a message, and then The next morning, all of a sudden, the waitress knows my order even though I haven't ordered here yet, and I see the title of a book that I'm supposed to write but I haven't written yet.
Did he happen to, like, wonk his head when he fell down? Do I remember? Or was...
Phelan, why don't you finish your food? We'll go visit the Flaming Fists, and you can wonder about your fate and prophecy and whatever else it is that crosses your mind as we go. By the way, what's the weather going to be today?
I pull out the sticks, and I cast them upon the table. What is the weather supposed to be like today?
Uncharacteristically cold and rainy.
Cold and rainy. My two favorite types.
Yeah. Wonderful.
As you guys are kind of trying to decide the weather, and Felon's still a little ruffled, you guys kind of hear from the table behind you, now that the gentleman has left. You hear an argument kind of getting progressively louder between the two remaining men at the table. Just hearing it from the next table, you kind of hear the words, I just don't understand why they can't. They're the two major players. And the other guy's like, yeah, they're the two major players in Baldur's Gate, yeah. And they're like, but they can't find, between the two of them, all their money. They're making money hand over fist. None of them can find any good iron. They can't find anything between the two of them, nothing. I mean, what's going on? Something's got to be going on. And they start kind of turning towards each other, and they're not necessarily arguing with each other, but they're kind of working each other up in agreement about the fact that, it sounds like two nearby merchant companies just can't seem to harvest anything usable. And in walks sorry. So in walks somebody that is outfitted with just not armor necessarily, but what looks to be like a suit of some kind. Looks like somebody kind of important, and they walk straight up to the bar, and they order a drink. And it looks like they're getting a little pestered by your previous friend, as the two old men just continue their ranting.
Were the Iron Fists where we were going to bring the information about what we learned about the iron? Because I know we were coming up here in part because of that.
According to the notes for the recap I see for the episode in the Discord, we had an orc head bounty with them.
Yes.
But it was too late when we showed up, so we couldn't talk to anybody, and that's why we went back to the inn.
Yes, so we did turn in our orc heads.
Oh, did we?
Yes.
We turned them in, but we're going back to collect the bounty, I think. Or something like that.
Something like that.
But I don't think we were talking to them about the iron. I think we were just talking to them about the orc bands. And we were supposed to talk to some of, a merchant here that, what's his face?
The guild?
The guild, I think, that the jerk face Aiden knew. And deliver the iron to them. That was the plan, I think.
As you guys are kind of discussing this, the person on the table next to you in red just, kind of stands up, pushes their chair back as the other person that's well-dressed walks in and is like... They push their chair back, it makes a loud creaking sound, and they're just like, "What are you doing in here? Don't you guys have somewhere to be? I heard you guys aren't doing so well right now." And the person at the bar turns around slowly, kind of chugs the drink, sets it back on the table, and nods at the bartender. Walks over to the table. "Look, just because we do business differently doesn't mean you claim anywhere in this town to be. You and I have to work side by side. Let's just keep this civil, okay? And he starts to kind of walk out. And as he does so, the person in red kind of tries to cut him off and get in his face again. It's like, look, I'll go anywhere I damn well please. And what are you going to do about it? And pokes him.
Watching surreptitiously over the shoulder, but not gawking at this.
And you definitely are doing exactly the same thing that everybody else. Like, the old men stop bickering. Everybody kind of looks. The bartender kind of reaches under the counter. You know, not really. You don't really see what he's doing, but he's definitely just staring them down. And as the person in red pokes him, the other guy just kind of steps back, puts his hand up, and says, "You get one. Another one, and you know what happens." And the other guy throws a punch.
Nice, excellent.
So he throws a punch, and it pretty good. Knocks the guy over. He kind of slumps over onto the chair nearby. As in walks a few more friends.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We should probably do something now. Now it's not fair.
And if everybody could roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
Turn order tracker.
No.
Please?
Just roll it and don't track.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
I'm okay with that too.
No track, only roll.
What if it was for funsies?
Could be for funsies.
Oh man, I'm really not good at not killing people.
Use your fists.
No, I think I can get away with this. I think we'll be okay. We'll be all right. I just always forget that you can't, like, do non-lethal with spells. So.
Shoot at their feet.
Hey, you've got 3 rounds to patch them up, and you're a cleric, right?
That's true. You know what? Good point. I could literally shoot first and ask questions later.
You can.
That one's weird. And we're at a sword. Which I
That's
apparently
a weird
can't do.
sword. There we go.
So, Felon, you've seen this kind of fisticuffs go on before. Usually over scrolls of Candlekeep.
Yeah, they get vicious out there.
But then you do see 2 people. You do see 2 people dressed in similar kind of, light, leathery type of armor. But they all have the same insignia on them. Kind of walking the door and see their friend.
Do I recognize the insignia?
Well, let's see here. No.
No. Okay.
Yeah, no.
And these people have walked in. Have they drawn weapons or anything? These 2.
They have not yet. But you would, the way that their hands move, you would guess that they would probably be ready and able to.
Okay. So then I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to sort of run over, run over my character. She got in the way. Kind of like this. And I'm going to point at this guy, and I'm going to command him to do something. So he needs to make me a wisdom save. Otherwise, I'm going to tell him to turn around and run away from the bar. And the DC is 15 for this wisdom save. That is not going to do it, I don't think. So I command him to turn around and leave. Just run as far away from the bar as he can get.
Okay, so your one word is...
Run.
Okay.
Or flee, I guess, in the text of the spell.
Okay.
But that is all I do.
Your words kind of shake him down to his core. If you would try to throw maybe literature at him, maybe he wouldn't have understood, but he definitely understands it when you say flee.
Excellent.
So I'm going to drag this guy off the screen and not expand him like that. So a gentleman in a little bit bulkier of armor steps in. He says, No, not to my brothers. And he, seeing these two in fisticuffs, he goes to try to grab on to our gentleman in the blue and say, "Why don't we take this outside?" And tries to grab onto him.
That's mean.
And other guy doesn't seem like he's gonna take it, but red shirt here does do a second attempt to grab. Unfortunately, they have the same sheet, and he does, and then drags him out about 18 feet. Kind of right next to his buddies there. Laying it on here. This thug seems to guard, kind of, he's still actively getting ready to attack the blue gentleman, but it doesn't seem like he wants to necessarily inside of this building, but he's ready to, it looks like he's ready to strike at him. Dwayne, seeing this gentleman in the blue, he's starting to get dragged out of the building. What do you do?
Phelan, why are we getting involved in this? He casts armor on himself, and then just stands up and makes sure he hasn't got any food left on his hands. That's it.
Because they're gonna kill that man for no reason.
Well, I don't think they'll kill him.
I think you are mistaken, sir.
Well, we can follow them outside and monitor if you like.
And before the next person has a turn to go, the bartender kind of comes around the corner and says, "Now, none of that in here. I've had enough of you guys at each other's throats. It's one thing to not be able to do your job. It's another to deal with it in my inn. Get out. Or I'll have the Flaming Fist deal with the both of you."
Yeah, this guy also kind of hesitates hearing that. Just kind of groups up next. It looks like they're going to try to push this guy out of the bar tavern inn. 7.
Oh, boy. So the dude who was at the bar was just kind of minding his own business when these guys came in?
Yeah, so what happened was the guy in blue was getting a drink. The other guy in the chair basically was talking shit, and the other guys, look, don't start anything, tried to walk away, but this guy got in his face, and then suddenly some of his friends seemed to walk in because they're all wearing similar armor or
fair
clothing.
And you said they had some sort of a symbol on them. What's the symbol? Does anything, I mean, I probably wouldn't recognize it since I'm not super familiar with crap in this area, but
yeah, I mean, you don't recognize it necessarily, but yeah, they're all, the people in red are all dressed very similarly, and they have a symbol on their shoulders, and so does the person dressed kind of in blue, but it's a different symbol.
okay.
but that symbol does look familiar to you. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
It's hard to tell because everybody's kind of trying to rush that person out, and you only saw it from
Right,
afar.
just for a second.
But it looks similar to the stuff you saw on the carts on the road, maybe?
Sorry. So, picking up his actually, nah, he wouldn't even pick up his staff. Getting up, and Cloud would probably pop up and hop over past the chair over here and around to where these folks are, and kind of puts up again hands placatingly. Gentlemen, perhaps if you have business to take care of, we do it over drinks and put the knives away.
And then kind of as you close that distance...
And also activating a key point for patient defense.
Kind of as you start to move evasively into this pile of red, the guy you're next to, you actually recognize him. You recognize him from the alley.
From when we first got to town?
Yes.
Was this one of the ones who was saying the that was pressing the other dude for money?
Yes.
Or whatever it was?
Yes.
Okay.
And from what you remember, you were told that the people who were attempting to shake down the gentleman were members of the Iron Throne.
Do you remember anything about what that was, or did I share the name?
Just the name, and then by correlation, the fact that they were dealing with lots of money.
All right. At the moment of recognition, Cloud kind of tries to push that down so that it doesn't show on his face if he can. Unless the guy's... Oh, excuse me. Sorry, something caught my throat there. Unless the guy says or does something. But yeah, there's a bonus action to activate the patient defense, and then I'm just going to ready a standard action for if they try to start any shit, to bop some fools on the head.
Okay.
Trying to give us a chance to go peacefully.
This gentleman in the blue, seeing as he's surrounded by 4 people and he's getting dragged outside of the only place that's safe, he's going to fight this shit off. He turns to the side and kind of just starts swiping, drawing his long sword, even getting gripped by the other Iron Throne employee with armor on. He looks like he's trying to stop the tag team of friends here.
See, they're failing. They weren't the first to draw blood.
I would fight him too. Look at this. 4 hit them and 1 hit him. Also, look at that damage. Nice job, dude. That's gotta hurt.
All right. And this thug is like, "Wee!
Come out! Bye-bye!
No!
Run away!
I hate the color blue!" And then Briseus, before you act, you see kind of all of these patrons start to sconce out of the way. Some of them are even taking cover behind the bar. The bartender does not look happy.
Can't blame them for that. They came here for breakfast, not battle. And,
Nothing. I was gonna say, as they're all coming back, he's like, hey, now, the flaming fist has been contacted. Just stop touching that.
She is. She has her walking stick out, and she's just gonna sort of, do this guy. Not hit him, but just sort of like tap him on the shoulder. Like, come on. Just to let him know she's there. She's waiting to see like if he's gonna turn or like continue attacking that guy, trying to be a distraction for the other guy to hopefully get away.
Get your stick off my back. As that brings us to a Felon.
Okay. Felon is going to continue moving over to about there, and then he's going to point at this guy, and he is also going to command this guy to drop the guy in blue. Get a lot of mileage out of that. So he needs to make me a wisdom save, DC 15. That is not enough, so here, I'll ping it just again, just so we can see it. So drops. So yeah, I tell him to drop. So he drops whatever he's holding. In this case, probably his sword and that man.
Yeah, he does both of those things, and you can kind of see him being like, so he drops both the grapple that he had on the gentleman and his sword. Now he has nothing in his hands, and he kind of looks around confusedly, and then he points and, "Don't listen to that one."
I do. I have really good ideas.
And then still, he's like, well, he seems really against trying to draw blood in this inn. Just continue, it drops him, doesn't realize why he's dropping him, and then tries to grab at him again and still can't get it.
He ends his turn after he drops what he's holding. The target drops whatever it's holding and then ends its turn, yeah.
Oh, well then he's done.
Yeah, you can't grab him. I said no.
And this guy's just gonna try to shove.
Now we're just pushing. Come on, it's like grade school in here.
And then he like goes to push this blue guy, and then he's like, "Yeah, he said not to listen to you." And this thug is making an attack.
All right.
Oh God!
Who's he attacking? Felon?
Yes, he is attacking. It looks like he's making overtures at Felon. What are you doing? Stop.
All right, I am. Yep,
your mouth.
Spending my reaction to. I'm going to do a thing. So when you, if you're holding something and when you blow your reaction to do a thing, does it count as the full attack action, or is it just?
Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay.
All right then. Well, in that situation, I am going to. No, it has to be part of a flurry of blows to do that, and I can't do that because I already spent my bonus action, so that's fine. Well, in this situation, then I will just closed hand and foot, like claws retracted. Give him a bip bip, 1-2, like a strike in a knee to the back to try to keep him off of Felon. So that would be
Jesus.
Assuming that's a hit.
Okay.
Nice.
And is it an 11 hit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like this guy's a little clumsy.
All right.
He doesn't really have that much on.
And I'm doing non-lethal. This is my plans for this. Like, I'm not trying to kill the dude. I'm just, like I said, not going for the lethal strikes. Just trying to basically subdue him.
Oh, do you want some of this too? Did somebody take your claws out? Oh, you must feel so bad. As he still goes to slam his mace on Felon.
Is he talking shit?
Ow.
Really? Okay.
Ow! He hit me for 3 damage. Jerk. Now I'll kill him.
And with this lonely little thug in the middle, feeling much like Cloud probably does usually. Doyle, what do you do?
Wow.
I mean, it's no tree, Dwayne, but it is a table.
It is a table, and
There's another one.
Dwayle's gonna head over to his new table. Are they like this often? He asks, and then he's gonna see if this leadership-looking fellow is any good at resisting illusions.
Felon?
No, not the other, the bad guy.
Oh, let's find out.
So a DC 15 intelligence saving throw.
Ooh, no. The answer is no.
And he sees a duplicate or a ghostly image of the man he's trying to claim attack him, but only he sees it. And he strikes him for 4 damage with his longsword, and then will continue attacking as time passes.
As time passes, your turn or my turn? Or his turn?
My turns.
Yeah.
Let me get you the text, and I will figure it out from there. Each round on my turn.
Yeah, I gotta stop. Day drinking. Why are there 2 of them?
As you ask if, like, do they do this often? The innkeep is yelling towards you over, like, you know, the big crowd that is now gathered by him, and says, often enough to where I know how to take care of it. They should be here any second. The fuckers are always late. Flaming Fish should be here any second to take care of this.
So Dwayne finishes and takes a seat on the bar and just watches.
It looks like this thug that's been attacked by Mr. Nice Blue Suit has no interest whatsoever in remaining peaceful anymore, and goes to and lands a very hefty blow on the gentleman who just came in for a drink. 7. Seeing one of your friends get attacked, seeing the gentleman in blue get attacked.
All right. Well, we tried. We tried doing this peacefully. Didn't work. So, oh boy. Yep. All right then. So we're gonna take my 2 regular attacks again. Again, still gonna go with, you know, bludgeoning, non-lethal. 1 attack on the dude that's the monkey in the middle. For 8.
Yeah, those are that's furry and it tickles.
I'll lash out the other strike at the other dude giving him I'll cut him a look that lets him know I'll be back for you in a couple of seconds. So, one attack on the dude down on this guy down here.
Yupper.
For 5, and then I will spend a key point to activate Flurry of Blows. I'm going to back to the first dude again. There's 23s, man. For 4 points of damage, 7 points damage, and then I'm going to use Open Hand Technique. He needs to make a dex save or be knocked prone.
Really good at this non-lethal stuff.
Where did all my things go? Alright, well, because I can't get in the sheet.
Oh, and the DC for this is 13.
Yeah, he's on the floor.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I'll drop my other flurry attack on the dude back here. It's really tempting just to knock him the rest of the way out, but yeah, I'm gonna try to knock this dude down too. 15 hits.
Yeah.
For 5 points of damage and another DC
guy falls
13
to
deck
the
save. All right.
Kind of looks like the aftermath of an action scene. just guys on the ground.
And I cross my arms over my chest and look down at him with kind of a disappointed look on my face.
As the gentleman in blue sees that there's 2 people on the ground now, and it looks like the one who was originally harassing him had some sort of drunk or mental problems. He just takes the dodge action and stands there for now. The thug outside takes a look back and starts running to the north, and that's what you see of him.
Like, you know what? That wasn't a bad idea.
And then Bryceia seeing one in the back just book it, and seeing 2 on the ground barely moving.
My initiative was so bad I didn't get to do anything cool. For now, she will also dodge, just kind of like shift closer. And just be like, you guys should stay down. Or she'll ready in action, like if one is gonna attack, get up and try to do something stupid, she'll whack him on the head with her stick.
Alright.
Okay.
So as you guys kind of look to be, have the situation under control, you hear what sounds like a bunch of people coming down the street. You hear, running footsteps, because now the doors are kind of open. You guys have been fighting, like, in between outside, but inside. And you hear thump, 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 and armor and clanging and things, and you see, like 7, 8 people in well-dressed armor with the emblem that you recognize as the Flaming Fist come up and say, it just sounds like a rebel, 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 and they kind of start surrounding you guys. And they're like, Maurice! One of the guys in the front is, like, yells back towards the bartender and is like, Maurice! Who, and he's pointing at, like, all these people involved, and he's like, well, I mean, you know who started it, the two started it, and then these guys, I mean, they jumped in to help that guy. I mean, I don't know, and he's kind of himself trying to wrangle all the people that are, like, trying to take advantage of the fact that the stuff is chaotic and steal plates or silverware or drinks from behind the bar. He's like, I don't know. I mean, I was trying to pay attention, but I've got stuff going on here. I don't know. Just get them all out of here and figure it out down at the station, would ya? Just, you know, like, your job. If you could do that, that'd be great. He's like, you got it, Maurice. And he's like, all right, everybody come with me. You can come nicely. We can do it the hard way. It's up to you. As he's dragging, like, the two people that are laying on the ground.
Yeah. I go to step over him to go get my stuff from over by the table, and in the process of jumping over the downed guy, the other foot catches him in the head with a kick as I jump across him.
The guard that's following you to go get your stuff kind of gives you one of those shoves, and he's like, "Hey, watch it. Yeah, plenty of cells."
I tripped, and I
His face.
go and pick up my stuff and.
Yeah, I heard your kind was clumsy. Let's go. Come on, grab your shit. And then
It's slow.
the lead guy looks down at Dwayne, just kind of leaning against there, and Dwayne's kind of sticking out because he's not trying to loot behind the bar, and he's also not, you know, in the middle of the fight, and he's like, "Who are you?"
Oh, that's Dwayne.
All right, get him too.
As it happens,
Look,
I was coming to visit your place anyway.
All right. Yeah, I know. All you guys like to see the inner workings of the Flaming Fist. Come on, you'll get a first-hand look. Let's go. And we'll write your names down. We'll write all your information so that we have all of your information about everything. And then, you know, if you didn't start anything, we'll let you go. But, you know, my boss makes me collect come on, let's go. We're all
yes.
Is your lieutenant still there anyway? And while this is happening, this fellow's still getting attacked.
Yeah, that's true.
Else just not dropping the spell. That's good.
Yeah, so now like multiple of the Flaming Fist, you know, you each have like one or two guarding you, but you guys aren't putting up much of a fight except for Cloud, who's just being kind of a turd.
I wasn't putting up a fight. I was just going to get my stuff.
Tripping over people.
I left my bag and my staff over at the table. I was going to get them.
He tripped over his face.
Yeah.
And it looks like
I went to step over him, and he moved and caught the edge of my foot. It happened.
Yes, his face went into his foot.
My foot.
Exactly.
So as you each have, like, you know, 1 or 1 to 2 ratio of Flaming Fist, the guy that's like kind of fighting something else is slowly gathering his own collection of Flaming Fist people that are like, oh, stop it, nope, get the sword out of his hands. Good, somebody take the shield off. Just put a blindfold over him. It's fine. Just knock him out. And eventually, the lead guy just is like, oh, for fuck's sake, I work with a bunch of idiots. Comes over and clonks him on the head and knocks him out.
Is he okay? He's the one that started everything.
He's fine. This is the 3rd time this week. This fucking idiot. Let's go. Come on. Sorry, Maurice. Yeah. Get out of here. Go back to your table or you're not having another drink. God. And, everybody is slowly ushered out into the street, into the drizzling rain. It's, about as pleasant as you expect it to be, which is And you are paraded. I mean, you're not walking too terribly far until you get there, but everybody kind of sees you guys walk in and takes note of you guys walking down towards the Flaming Fist. It doesn't seem like you're drawing a terrible amount of attention.
You know, I insisted an honor guard wasn't necessary, but they just wouldn't hear anything else.
Yeah, except for Dwayne. Dwayne is definitely getting some looks. Just because of the way he's dressed comparatively to everybody else. And they don't usually see people that well dressed heading down towards the Flaming Fist buildings. And if you guys are cool with it, I would like to take the break real quick.
That
Sure.
works for me.
Sounds good.
Breaking!
Break. BRB.
Break.
Dear future Sean, fuck you, love past Sean.
Apparently, I don't know if drunk Sean read a story on Reddit like that and thought it was really funny. So he's like, you know what I'll do? I'll do it because it'll be really hilarious. Like, I don't know where I got the idea from or anything, but it was supremely unpleasant. I wasn't even hungover or anything. I definitely would not have puked if that hadn't happened. It was just... it was a bad time.
Yeah.
So drunk Sean sounds interesting.
Drunk Sean... Sometimes drunk Sean cries a lot. But only on the right circumstances. That's only on, like, a full moon.
Or watching Old Yeller.
No. Most of the time, drunk Sean's just pretty pleased with himself and everyone around him.
Is that more stress pretzels I hear?
Peanut chips.
He said peanut this time. I swear he said peanut.
That's what it sounded like.
I said it just for you, Casey.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I do keep...
Sorry, go ahead.
No.
Well, you guys are just going to jail. It's no big deal. You guys got time.
Hello, good
I
morning.
mean, I'm not going to be going to jail, but they don't know that yet.
You're correct. They have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you guys make the walk on over to the Flaming Fist building.
Briseis is pretty chill. She knows she didn't do anything wrong, and
Yeah,
technically
same.
none of them did anything wrong. So
Yeah, there's so as you guys are kind of walking along, it's a pretty short walk, like I said, and you're getting some looks, but mostly the looks are directed at Dwayle's general, attire, and the fact that the people that are awake from the fight are just still talking shit in spite of getting smacked by Flaming Fist guards every time they say basically anything. They're still keeping it up. As you guys start to enter into the building, so as you kind of walk in, the guy that took charge back in the inn is kind of leading the way again and walks up to... I mean, there's no main desk, but it's just a big entryway. It looks pretty well kept, well guarded. Looks like they've been funded fairly well. Although their armor, now that you guys have been walking with them for a while, their armor, their shields, things like that, they look a little banged up. Kind of a lower quality compared to the building that you're entering now. Once inside, the guards just seem to go about their business, like methodically, taking the prisoners in separate directions and kind of nodding at the people that are inside the building, and got another, just broke up another fight down at Maurice's, and they get nods. You guys are kind of just left to stand with the guy that was in charge at the inn, and he says, just stay here just a second. I don't really... You guys clearly weren't really involved, but because you were, fighting in between the two, I have to go get my boss. He has to, clear you guys, so just hold tight for just a second. And he walks up to... one of the doors that you walked past when you came in. He asked one of his guard friends to just kind of keep an eye on the four of you. And he knocks on the door. Captain Surge! It's Lieutenant Guy. Can I come in? And he enters in and kind of shuts the door behind him. And, the guards seem awkward. They don't want to start conversation with you. They're just kind of all eyeballing you. And about a minute later, he comes out and says, so the captain wants to see all of you. If you'll just kind of come in. He looks a little flustered.
Which way are we going?
Over here.
You know, I do wonder what they did with all those orc heads we brought in just last night.
Yeah, you don't see anybody juggling them at the moment, but maybe.
I'm just gonna walk in.
Come in, please. I mean, this is not exactly how I wanted to meet you all, but I've been told you were the ones that dropped off that little package we got last night.
Yes, sir.
I'd say thank you, but it's kind of disgusting. But thanks. How you guys must be a hardy group to get that many. What tell me what happened. He kind of leans over his desk.
About the orcs or about the tavern?
Oh, the tavern. Nobody cares about the tavern. I know you guys weren't involved in that. None of you have insignia on. That's just day-to-day stuff between the Iron Throne and the Merchant League. I'm gonna go ahead and pardon you guys. I assume you weren't involved in that, right? And he kind of raises an eyebrow and looks at each one of you.
I never laid a finger on anyone.
All right, we're all adults here. Let's move on from the stupid brawl over there. Those people will get what's coming to them. We have more important things to talk about, like what you brought us in last night. Now, the person you talked to, he's small peanuts here, but he was able to mention that it was a group of 4 people, and they looked weird, and you guys, you kind of fit that description. No offense.
Oh, none taken. Cloud and Briseis are great attention getters.
Well, here's hoping it's the right kind of attention. So let's talk. Let's talk about, well, I was told you were looking for me.
Well, yes. There was a bounty issued for information regarding the orc problems that you've been having to the south. On the way here, we did dispatch one band of the orcs and delivered the evidence of that to you last night. We also ascertained the size of the groups that they've been encountering. They've been making them seem more than they are through the use of little illusionary gadgets and drums that project quite loud. We have an example of the drums and of the little illusionary duplicate boxes. From here, we were thinking to continue to scout to the west near Candlekeep to a location where we believe they are gathered, but we would certainly like to see some of your troops moving along the roads to guard it. We were a little curious as to what the plans were here.
Well, wait a minute. Let's back this up here. You say you have proof that the orcs' numbers aren't quite what they say they are.
Yes. You see, they have drums. Cloud, you have the drum? Don't play it in here, please.
I was going to say, in the process of pulling it out of his pack, but just kind of shows it off.
They're quite... Go ahead.
A demonstration would be...
Painful?
It would be best to warn your men so that they're prepared.
I mean, I'm not a man of magical means. I'm not quite sure what. So this little box makes big orcs appear?
No, this one does, and he presses the button on one of the duplicate things and makes several of himself appear.
So now there's multiple whales?
Yes. As you can see, they are shoddy copies, but enough, I think, to pass as reasonably handsome men from a distance.
He just kind of is looking back and forth. He's like, this isn't good. This is I mean, not I mean, you're a handsome man. That's not,
Understood.
So, okay, so this duplicates them, and what does that one do? I mean, is it gonna shoot stuff out at me?
No, it plays a lot louder than it should. Cloud, maybe something soft?
There's not a lot of control over the volume, but...
Briseis is going to cover her ears if she got to play.
And I just kind of gives a look to the guys if to say, you've been warned, and cracks knuckles and starts playing as softly as possible, kind of like a war marchy kind of a tempo.
All right, could you guys roll?
Do you need a perform roll for that?
No, you don't need a perform roll, but could you guys roll a con save for me?
Do I get advantage for covering my ears?
Sure do.
Oh, I did poorly.
Oh, do I need to roll one too, even though I'm playing it?
Constitution?
Yeah, and then what does it sound like when you're playing?
Well,
it?
she's sitting right next to him. So.
I said, do I need to roll one too, even though I'm playing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for my own benefit, I'm going to throw a performance roll in there because I want to see how. Yeah, not great, but Constitution save.
Now you said advantage for the warning, right?
Yeah. So I mean, really, it's just anybody that didn't quite hit 10 is you got like a ringing in your ears for about 30 seconds. Can you guys hear me okay?
Anybody else just get robot voice?
You got yeah, just say Sin got robot-y for me.
Yeah, and you cut out, and I only heard part of what you said.
Oh no, you need another modem.
Oh, 2 modems. You need to strap them together. You go twice as fast.
The raid modem.
A raid modem. That's a dumb joke.
Are you trying to talk to us and we just can't hear you? Are you muted? If you are, we don't know.
No, I was just checking my settings to make sure everything was good on my end.
Okay. Well, you sound fine. You sound fine now.
Okay, cool. Anyway, sorry. No, you guys are just the people that, rolled low. Actually, it's just... It is just Felon. You just hear a ringing in your ears for about 30 seconds.
You're fading in and out again.
Yeah, you get the robot on the fade in and out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna keep doing this to see if I fade in and out.
You sound perfectly fine.
Yeah, you sound more or less okay.
Well, I mean, he is a foot away from me, so that makes sense.
I heard the word foot.
I heard the word foot. Foot was clear, nothing else.
It's really funny.
I heard you sitting down in the background.
Working out those technical difficulties. Oh, you got a little robot there at the end of that one.
Up here.
You know what this is? We did not make our Constitution saving throw. We just can't hear right now.
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Oh, and naturally now the Discord overlay is like, I don't know what you're trying to do.
You sound okay now, though.
Yeah, you sound good.
Yeah, you guys just might need to reconnect to the server, maybe.
I wonder what the foot was in context of. I'm kind of curious about that.
There was just word foot.
Yeah. Oh, I'm like, well, that makes sense because he's a fucking foot away from me, so naturally. Wasn't that funny. It was just out of anger.
But all we got was just the word foot. So it was... We're like, oh no.
Like, how does that work out of context? Or in context?
Just the Foot Clan ninjas were attacking. Taking their internets.
Ooh, the Foot Clan.
All right, well, regret the whole con save thing. Long story short, Felon,
Yes.
you have ringing in your ear for 30 seconds. Very anticlimactic. Anyway.
If it wasn't that, something else would have broken it.
Fucking A. All right, so the captain, it just, you see him kind of stand up a little straight when he hears that sound, like he's been conditioned to listen out for it or something, and he runs past you guys and kind of opens his door and is like, everything's fine, just go about your business, and shuts the door again, and he's walks around to his desk nodding and kind of stroking his chin, and it's just like, this is very interesting. So have you seen how many they have? Do you know their numbers then? How did you get a hold of these devices?
We killed some of them.
And they're stupid orcs. I mean, these aren't special orcs, are they? Where did they get these things? Somebody must be working with them. And he's like inner monologuing this stuff out loud to you guys.
There's another thing you should probably be aware of. They have developed the ability to sort of smuggle things using a thing that looks like a chest, but it turns out is actually much larger. And if you open it, it's like there's something in there, and then there's like a lot of things underneath it.
Well, where's that? I want to see that. That sounds great.
Oh, well, we didn't bring it with us because your guards were really angry at us, so we couldn't go grab it. But
well, I mean, you did involve yourself in one of the local... I mean, how long have you guys even been in town? How'd you get tied up with the Iron Throne Merchant League stuff?
Well, they sort of fight in the inn, and then the guys in the red were going to kill the guy in the blue. And the guy in the blue was actually much more reasonable than the guys in red. He was like, we got to work together. We should all be cool about this. He was just trying to have a drink, and the guy in red was yelling at him. And then a fight broke out, and then...
We tried to break the fight up.
And as the fight broke out, before we could intervene, like the guy in red who seems to kind of be in charge came in and was trying to drag him outside. And then one of the other guys started stabbing him. It was like a whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, good thing... I mean, good thing you heroes were there to save him, right? And he just kind of, makes that joke like, I've seen your type before. But getting back to this orc business. First of all, where are you all from? What brings you to Baldur's Gate? Are you here to give me this information? Because if you are, thank you. I appreciate that. We're kind of having a tough time here, as you can tell. I mean, we're overloaded with stupid, useless fights between these two merchants in our town, and really all we want to pay attention to is getting this orc situation under control. And it sounds like you are people to talk to. Where are you coming from? How did you get a hold of this stuff?
Well, we killed the orcs.
I was going to say, I think we already told him that, didn't we?
But we're coming from
You're from
Well, no.
We were traveling.
We were in and now we came here.
What, so you're not from but you were traveling from
Right, we were in and then we were then we decided to come here. Yeah, because we fixed the iron thing. So.
Fixed the iron thing?
You know how the iron's all shitty and broken. We fixed it, so.
Okay, you know what? Hold on a second. And he pulls out a couple chairs that were from the back, and he's like, we're gonna need to sit down. I guess I got a lot of questions for you. Can I get you something to drink? Anybody?
Yes, elderberry juice, please.
Absolutely. And he kind of goes out and yells at one of his guys to get some drinks for people, and then asks to not be disturbed after they are all dropped off and you guys are all sitting in there. He sits down behind his desk and he says, I'm trying to piece this all together. So, all right, last night you got into Baldur's Gate for the first time, right? Mm-hmm. And he's got like a piece of paper and a pen, but he's holding it. He's
drawing a flowchart.
He's got what looks to be a stick of charcoal, and he's holding it in his hand like in a fist, and he's kind of drawing on a piece of paper. It's like, all right, so you guys got into Baldur's Gate last night, and you came straight here, which good thing to do. I wasn't here, so you dropped off the orc heads because that seems reasonable, and you meant to come back here, surely. you know,
Right.
without
Yep,
the
we
fight
did.
stuff. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
So you came here from you came to Baldur's Gate with the orc heads, but you solved the iron thingy. I'm having trouble drawing connections. So you killed the orcs in
Well, on the way from to here, more closer to here, to be honest.
Where?
We met up with some Flaming Fist. Captain, you made us do paperwork.
Good old Captain Paperwork.
Well, I'm.
Well, he made
I'm
me
the,
do paperwork. I was pretty excited about it.
I'm the captain here, so I mean, maybe you came across one of my lieutenants. I don't know a
Maybe.
lieutenant paperwork though.
I don't know. He was on the road somewhere. I don't
No,
really
we got a
remember.
lot of those guys out. That's about all we can do about this orc situation is send guys out to go find them. I mean, we can't fight their numbers, or so we thought were their numbers, but now you're giving me different information. This is all throwing me for a loop here. All right, so
Right.
so you guys killed the orc. How many orcs did you kill? Did you kill them all? Are they all?
Well, how many heads do you have?
Well, we have 4, but you have the thingy that replicates. How many did they replicate? Our scouts are saying they've got, you know, hundreds and hundreds. I mean, but I don't know how reliable they are at this point.
It's not that many. I mean, we killed 4, but I mean, I don't. Well, we killed more before, but that's not really relevant to this conversation. But I couldn't tell you how many there are, but there's definitely orders of magnitude less than they appear.
More than
Think about
half
it.
less.
Yeah, yeah.
So 2 and more.
Oh no, Captain. Okay.
Oh, buddy, we
Uh,
had to know better.
All right, so this isn't the first time.
There's basically about a third of what you think there are.
And you've killed
Well,
how many of
like-
that third?
Oh, like overall of like.
He rubs his temple a little bit. Okay, so there's a third of what we think there are, and you guys you brought me 4, so that's 1/3 minus 4.
No, okay, no. Look, the point is, there's less orcs than you think there are because they're trying to trick you. We don't know how many there are exactly, but we know there's a lot less than it appears that there are.
Yeah, it's not entire armies marching.
So there's a smaller amount, but they're smarter.
Or at least somebody is smarter.
They do seem to be working with someone who can plan.
Yeah, do you have any information on that part? Because I've never seen these any points at the 2 tools that you guys were kind of using.
We know there is at least one female who is able to use magic that can both raise the dead as well as enchant candles that weaken iron ore.
There's a female doing all this? Okay, so all right, so everything's tied okay. So the solving of the iron thing. Okay, let's go to that. What's that? How did you do that?
Have you seen the iron that crumbles?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've given it to my soldiers to fight with, stupidly.
Phelan discovered that the iron was being broken down, as being corrupted by candles. These candles were being used in the mine, lighting the mine, and therefore corrupting the iron. We discovered that the candles were being made. And Phelan, do you still have that letter that describes the candle making duties? Oh, and he's got the candle.
Well, you have one of the candles on you. How does a candle make? I don't understand. And kobolds, they're.
The kobolds were distributing or supplying the candles within the Nashkel mines. That's where we were in in Nashkel, and we met a Lord Aiden there. Wonderful fellow. You should have dinner with him sometime. He employed us to check out the trouble with the mines. There we discovered the kobolds were replacing the miners' candles with these candles. They seem to burn normally, but if iron is held near them for long enough, the iron grows brittle.
Well, I'll be damned.
Would you like to see?
Smart little kobolds. I mean, sure, it can't get any fucking worse than it is now.
Okay, give me a dagger. Also, point of order. It was not the kobolds. The kobolds were being used as pawns by a hobgoblin who'd been sent by, we believe, the same group that is orchestrating this whole orc thing to have the kobolds distribute the candles. But the kobolds weren't behind it. They were just they were pawns. And I take the dagger and I stab it into the table and I light the candle.
At what you just said. He looks like dizzy, and then he sees you doing stuff with the dagger. And I'm sorry, you said you stabbed the table?
I stabbed the table with the dagger, so the dagger's just like sitting upright. And then I lit the candle. And I said, we just need to give it a minute or two.
Okay, so... Alright, so the kobolds were organized by a hobgoblin, and he picks up his piece of charcoal again. He's like, alright, so the kobolds were organized by the hobgoblin who created the candles?
No, the hobgoblin was getting the candles from another group outside of the mines.
The orcs?
No, well, no, not exactly. They were humans when we found them.
Wait,
remember
humans?
they were
working with humans.
The humans, the bandits were human.
I think we may have better success if we start from the top down.
Okay.
So
he flips
at the
over
top,
a sheet of paper.
Yes. At the top, we have a figure we have not met, known to have glowing or demonic eyes of some sort, large, imposing, and seems to be in charge. Whether he is fact or fiction, we're not entirely sure, but he's referenced that way. He is working with the orcs, who are upset about a loss in this area and looking to incite war between and Baldur's Gate, or to keep the Sword Coast at a level of warfare. And we have that... Fivlin, you have that letter?
Yes. I pull it out.
And the letter indicates, in a little bit of a cryptic language, an area where they fought and slaughtered each other needlessly. And to avoid that again, they need to keep the Sword Coast in troubles. The lower races, the kobolds, are being employed to spread the Iron Curse, which are these candles. The candles themselves, though, are made, it seems, by a female sorceress, wizard. I'm not entirely sure the style of magic being used to make these candles.
Yeah, and they do this, and Felon pulls the dagger out of the table, and then dramatically stabs... Oh, no, not Dwayne. He's going to stab himself dramatically, like in the arm, and really hope that
he didn't give it enough time.
That's why I almost dramatically stabbed Dwayne, and then I'm like, I don't want to stab Dwayne if this didn't work, so I'm going to dramatically stab myself.
I appreciate that, as I also don't wear armor, so there's nothing to break me.
I know. Yeah, it was like, maybe that's not such a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, over the course of, like, going back to the start of the story and explaining stuff and reading the scroll and things like that, it's been enough time to degrade the metal, so describe how it crumbles or where you stab yourself.
I just, against, like, my bracers, I just stab the dagger, and the dagger just disintegrates. Like, the scene where in Wonder Woman where she stabs the dude with what's supposed to be the God Killer sword and it just disintegrates because it's meaningless. It's like that, but less cool, and it doesn't involve Professor Lupin.
Wow, spoilers.
Sorry if none of you have seen Wonder Woman. Yeah, so it just sort of disintegrates and it just leaves the hilt there. And I'm like, I just sort of I'm like, here, you can have this back. And I sort of push the hilt across the table. And I blow out the candle.
Well, thanks. Yeah, you can, Well, I mean, can I hold on to that candle for?
Sure, I've got plenty more. I took a lot.
That makes me uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, how else am I gonna display what it does?
Well, I mean, how many more do you need to display? Unless you're planning a coup of some kind and
a coup
continue the
candles.
Continue the kobold work. I don't know. It just sounds a little suspicious, but I mean, you guys are pretty forthcoming with your information, so I'll I appreciate you letting me know what's going on. All right, so okay, so the candles are what's making the metal unusable, and being planted in the mines is really kind of screwing us from the start. And this was
correct.
only in one mine that you found? Did you investigate any others?
We have not had a chance.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I would be interested in talking to the Iron Throne and the Merchant League and working with them. Would you be open to talking to them about this issue if I was to mediate the conversation, considering that they can't seem to control themselves like adults?
Sure.
All
I'm
right.
fine. Dwayne, you want to talk to them anyway, right?
I did, and actually, I'm not certain which faction he may belong to, but we were supposed to speak with a gentleman by the name of, I have just lost it again, about these troubles.
He's my favorite gentleman.
All right.
He's a nice fellow. We expect to find him on or about the docks. And
okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty shady area of town. But we could probably get you an escort down there, maybe. Well, we'll see how stretched thin we are. But we're getting ahead of ourselves here. So back to Deadly Eyes. So Deadly Eyes, you saw him talking to the orcs and the kobolds. And
No.
so they're separate.
No.
we have communications from him talking to the orcs and the kobolds.
You have communications from him. Oh, the letter.
The letters.
Gotcha. Okay, so...
And references to him from the kobolds. There's few we were able to interview before they met their end.
So in theory, Deadly Eyes is over in charge of the orcs and the kobolds and has been orchestrating this whole mess of a situation.
Likely.
And you say there's some female involved? Have you come across this person, or you're just assuming their gender, or what's...
We caught sight of her when we met the orcs that were the last batch of orcs that we fought with. She turned invisible, retrieved her spellbook, and then fled from the area, leaving behind these notes, and he indicates the one referencing the duties making candles. She was the only survivor, as far as we can tell, of that encounter, but being invisible, we could not track her.
And how did you... So you saw her for a brief second, and then she turned invisible, you said? Did you get a look at her at all? Can you give me any kind of description? We got an artist over here that likes to... No? Alright. That's okay. That's okay. So a woman picked up a book and took off. And you said this was just outside Baldur's Gate? Is that right?
Pretty close. Not that far away.
Within the day's travel, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. And was this this was where you captured the last batch of orc heads that you turned in, right?
Correct.
Yep.
All right. And did these orcs ambush you on the road?
No. They'd ambushed a cart.
A cart, and we came upon them there.
Oh, okay. Another cart. Got it. Did you see, was it Iron Throne or Merchant League?
On this one, I don't recall seeing the figures. On the way to and to Nashville, we came across a Merchant League cart, but this one I don't recall seeing branding on. Do I?
Yeah, I don't remember if you guys out of character. I don't remember if you guys looked and investigated this last cart. I assume yes, but he kind of puts both symbols on the table, and the last cart, from what you can tell, kind of must have belonged to the Merchant League symbol. So you guys kind of identify that one, and he's like, all right, Merchant League. That seems to be a majority of the ones that we're coming across. I mean, Iron Throne's out there, but they seem to be getting attacked a lot less than the Merchant League. But I mean,
really,
those guys are assholes. So I wouldn't be entirely surprised if they didn't have something in on this. But you didn't hear that from me.
How much less are they getting attacked?
I mean, I'm clearly not that great with numbers, but I'm guessing 2 to 1 at least. I mean, we're getting reports from Merchant League all the time. I mean, you saw it yourself in there. Guy tells me that the Merchant League was outnumbered, 4-1, 5-1? It's been the case pretty much lately. Those Iron Throne guys, they're just bullies, really. I mean, and they know that the Merchant League is trying to do a good job, and they don't like that. They were here first. They think they own claim to the whole road, and it's not necessarily the case anymore. But this problem with the orcs, so we need to solve that. Are you guys offering your help here?
Yeah, absolutely. Right?
He kind of looks towards the other people besides the one going, yeah, totally.
Briseis nods, like, of course.
I mean, we've been stretched pretty thin around here. We'll take any help we can get if you guys are offering. We got another scouting group going out in a couple days to see what's going on. I'm waiting on one coming back tomorrow. And we'll send another out, and if the numbers are what you say they are, I mean, I'm sure we can handle a third of the numbers that we're calculating. After maybe you can help me with the number part. And he points at Felon and Dwale and Cloud and Briseis.
Literally any of you would be better than me.
Maybe you can help me with the number part.
No. Briseis, Cloud.
Yes.
Do you wish to assist them?
Said yes. Yes.
Allow me to rephrase. What compensation would you require to assist them?
Briseis gets that. I have no idea. Look, I don't do it for things. I'm sure you could handle all of that, Dwayne.
Yeah. Be happy to. Now, Phelan, recently, being a scholar and devotee of the gods, had a prophetic dream in which...
Calling people that?
Don't be modest, Phelan. In which some bad blood had actually cropped up between the Fist and our little party here. And I think it warned of a failing on our part to work with you closely enough and ensure that each of our contributions were recognized. What would you be looking to do to finance or otherwise reward those who assist you with this problem? Now, personally, I'm always interested in land. Coin travels much better, but land lasts longer.
All right, I see what you're saying. And he kind of takes a seat back and leans back, scratches his nose a little bit, and he's like, well, you guys have already given me more information than I can even handle today. You are clearly people that I need on my side. So I have no say over land. But the people, and he leans forward, and he kind of points his finger at Dwayne. He says, the people that bankroll all of this, and he points around to his room. He said, the people that bankroll the Flaming Fist, being the force of Baldur's Gate, now they can get some stuff done. Now, they only speak to me. They only deal with me, because the rest of these guys, as far as they're concerned, don't really matter. And they take my word as, well, I mean, not gold, but you know what I'm saying. They listen to me, long story short. And if I say that you are some people deserving of compensation, they have the means to make that happen. Now, it's just a matter of naming your exact price. This is all assuming that we take care of this orc situation. Now, they're getting pressure on their end from all the common folk down here. Common folk have been raising quite a ruckus about this orc invasion stuff. But at the same time, the people higher up, the people that fund the Flaming Fist aren't really all that affected by it. But they are affected by the fact that they can't sleep at night because there are people here late at night causing a ruckus, complaining and protesting and the whatnots. So if you're able to help us actually end this orc invasion stuff and quiet the common folk around here again, it'll make their lives a lot easier, and they will pay good money for that.
Understood. Phelan, Cloud, anything particular that you would like?
Not really.
Not especially.
So, what we're dealing with here now is two-pronged, though. You can clearly help with the orc invasion. You guys have proved yourselves warriors enough to collect heads, more than once, apparently, of some of these orcs. You were also able to steal their magic devices, and you were able to piece together. I mean, you guys are some good. I don't know if you come from an investigative background, but you guys are piecing stuff together pretty well here. And you know, I mean, there's the orc invasion that we have to deal with. It looks like you guys have completely solved the iron issue. It's a matter of helping me get that to these two merchant companies. Now, you saw firsthand kind of what they feel about each other. They're not exactly friendly. They're basically two sides of one coin. They do the same thing, they just do it very differently. But either way, they supply this town, and if you traveled that road from Am to here, you know they supply many other towns with good armor, good weapons, and pretty much anything. Anything to do with metal. It comes from Baldur's Gate. It's been crap lately. So, if you're willing to help me figure out how to mitigate those two sides and get that cure to them in a timely manner, that's going to be right up there with that orc invasion in terms of priority list. Do you know any contacts at either one? You know, you mentioned coming from Am and Nashkel and the Aiden guy.
Yes.
Does he know? Does he work with the Merchant League? I'm not sure what he's affiliated with.
Well, the Merchant League seems the kinder of the two, and among the discoveries we made, Briseis, I believe you recovered the bodies and names, or at least the descriptions of a fellow Lathanderite from the Merchants League. So we certainly would wish to pay our respects to them and inform them of those that were lost and that they were laid to rest as best as possible. We also have the name Tager Luskin, who Lord Aiden suggested we meet with. I'm not certain who he might be affiliated with.
Tagar Luskin?
Yes.
He's not affiliated with either of them.
Well, I'm not familiar with the man at all, other than his name. Who might he be?
Oh, well, he's, yeah, well, I mean, you'll find him down by the docks, that's sure. I mean, if he's not in one of our cells over here. He's a good enough guy. He just gets himself into some horrible situations sometimes. What's your business with him?
None, aside from a name to introduce us to the town. I would simply speak with him to find out if we have any business with him.
Well, I mean, I can tell you where he's holed up last I heard. We usually keep good tabs on him and his kind, because group that he rolls with, they haven't been getting in as much trouble as the Iron Throne and Merchant League lately, but they cause their own fair bit of trouble down at the docks, and even though it's far at the edge of Baldur's Gate, still technically in our jurisdiction, we gotta deal with it. So, he scribbles on a piece of paper and kind of slides it over to Dwayne, and that's roundabouts where you'll find Tagar and his group. They've been keeping quiet. I haven't really heard much from him lately, so You might have to ask around a little bit. He might have moved recently. He's always on the move, that one.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. And then as far as the two competing companies, one of them as much assistance as we can, provide them with an enormous advantage over the other, basically a solution to the iron troubles. And then if the other doesn't wish to hear of it, well, then you'll only have one faction remaining after a short while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they pay me to manage the peace in the town. They don't pay me to manage the money or the dividing of the things. That's for them to figure out. I just want to make sure that I get my information, aka your information, to the correct parties as soon as possible. From there, I mean, hopefully the fighting will stop and they'll just focus on making money again. That's what they were doing before, hoping to go straight back to that. So let me think on how to get this information. I'd appreciate it if you keep it between us until then. You haven't told anybody else in town, have you? Any kind of fingers towards all of you?
The details?
Yeah, everything you just told me, I assume it's staying in this room in between us folk here.
Right, sure.
He points at Felon, and then he points at Dwayne. He points at Felon, and he kind of raises an eyebrow, like, is that,
Got it, sir.
Oh, all right. Okay.
He is a cleric of Candlekeep, so the longer you make him keep information from others, the worse he will become. So do not hesitate for too long.
He's exaggerated. It'll be fine.
Phelan, what's the name of the book you'll be writing about this again?
You're such a jokester, Dwayne. You.
Well, I mean,
we really need to be
put
going.
A hold on you until if you can't keep your mouth shut. I just need a couple
I'd like
days.
to see you try, Captain.
He kind of stands up and crosses his arms and gives you a look.
I was just kidding. You're obviously very muscular. Haha. So we really should be going, though, right, guys? Right, everybody? Right, Dwayne?
He writes down. He's like, you guys are staying. You guys are staying over at the Brass Flagon. Is that right?
Yes.
All right.
We have rooms there, and that is where we will be. If not, out getting our hair coiffed. I hear you have a wonderful hairstylist in the area, so we may be visiting there as well, and doing some shopping. My attire could use an update, as well as my companions, of course, though. They fight against it a little bit more.
Oh my god, are you talking about Zhuge?
Oh, is it Zhuge? I've heard of him.
And he slams his hand on the table. I love that guy. He's great. He did this too, and he like licks the fingertips and like slides them against his hair. It's very finely buzz cut. Yeah, he did this one. This is his work. But he's opening up a new place. Ah, shit, where is that? One of those elf towns. I don't know. He's opening up a new place. So he's out of town right now, but I think he's back next week. You know what? I'll put in a good word for you. He fits me in whenever he can. So I'll mention that you guys are looking for a special dude. He has this blue dye. Oh my god, I can't pull it off, but I think you might be able to.
I can't mess with the perfection that my parents gave me, but the length I will alter. Briseis, however, I think
she just kind of like shrinks a little bit.
She has this lovely purple and blue outfit that might set off very well. Is it a brighter or a darker blue for the hair?
Well, I've only seen, and he gets like really excited, like unexpectedly. I've only seen the bright blue around town, but again, that's those the people up on the hill that pay. I mean, they like those bright colors. I think a dark blue would look really nice with that. I don't know what your robes look like, but just with your complexion, I bet that dark blue would really bring out your eyes.
They're actually purple, but I'm fine with my hair the way it is.
Oh, don't be shy, sweetie. Zhuge'll do you up. He'll do a great job. He knows exactly what he's doing. And anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So yeah, you guys have fun shopping or whatever the hell you're doing. I will. I'll have one of my guys reach out to you at the Brass Flagon when we're ready to do the and he like he starts making like the military things about the hand gestures and the pointing and the 2 and then 1. When we're ready to let the Iron Throne and the Merchant League know, and then we'll be rounding up another orc scouting mission, and let me talk to my guys, see who we got, and we'll schedule this out. I'll be in touch tomorrow for sure. But you guys are you're free to go for today. Thanks for backing up that other guy. You guys are real good heroes. And he gives you a thumbs up.
Right. Also, when you set up the demonstration, I'll need give me 2 iron rods, good iron rods. Can you do that? Can you do that, Captain?
Like good iron rods?
Good iron rods. They don't need to be long, but
like good iron, stuff that doesn't break.
Stuff that doesn't break. I need 2 of them.
Yeah.
Just 2 small ones. 2 inches long each.
All right. Yeah, I can figure that out.
Sure, unless you want to volunteer another dagger.
No, that's kind of. I mean, they're all shit now anyway. So, but apparently, I'll be able to get as many as I need. So yeah, I'll dig up some workable metal for you.
Thank you.
Do your whole little show again. It'll be great.
It will be great. Right?
I'll take away the rest of those candles. All right, so I'll be in touch with you guys. Stay out of trouble. That Tagar, just watch your back. And we'll be in touch. You guys don't have to sign out or anything. You're good to just go out the door. And he kind of sits down and starts scribbling. Now that he's dismissed you. Like
a child with a clenched fist.
Kind of like, when in Beauty and the Beast when he was eating with the spoon. That's kind of what it looks like when he writes. Just like a beast.
It's like fists the pencil.
So are you guys just kind of exploring the middle of the area, or are you guys heading out?
I'm heading out. I have no reason to hang out here.
Briseis will wait for everybody. She's kind of just looking around, but not really planning on staying.
You see the lady, you see, as you're kind of heading over there, Briseis, you see the lady at the front desk just kind of look up and wave to you and go back to reading her. It looks kind of like the same cover from the guy in the inn. Only, not the blue one, the other one.
Bye, Cloud. Have fun with the captain.
Sorry.
I thought you just wanted to hang out.
No.
All right, so you guys are outside again, and the whole of Baldur's Gate is your little, sea animal oyster type thing.
Phelan, in the future, when we find something of magical interest, don't reveal that to others.
Oh. You want me to lie to them?
That would be good. Yes.
But Dwell, you know me. I don't lie.
You don't lie well.
Okay, that's correct. That's more accurate, I suppose.
Okay. So if you just omit that the chest had that ability, there wouldn't be any question.
I'm gonna have to dump some of my candles in case he actually follows through on his threat. Just take some of them from me, so I still have some left over.
Yes, I'm thinking if we inspect that chest, if there's any way to remove the bag from the way that it is sealed to the chest, or even if we could break up the chest, make it collapsible, we could hide things that we don't want taken inside there. But at the moment, he now knows that we have a chest that holds stuff. Should they decide to seize it...
But Dwayne, here's what we do. We buy a lot of chests. He doesn't know which one's which.
That is expensive and inconvenient.
Well, how much can a chest be? I don't think we'll fill one of our rooms with a bunch of chests. We'll never know.
Your room's already filled with pikes.
No, I put those back over the night. I had a lot of time while you guys were sleeping.
Well, in any case, shall we go and fetch the chest and see if we can find anyone willing to purchase that pile of equipment, and also any shopping you wish to do? I certainly in need of a new outfit. Do you need any equipment, armor? I suppose you wear armor.
Not sure I'm comfortable buying anything made of metal for a bit.
I could use... I do need to shop for some spell components, I suppose. But, other than that, not really.
If there happens to be a shop that does sell any sort of spells themselves, I could certainly use to expand my repertoire.
So I'm sorry. Was there shopping? I'm sorry.
Are there any arcane shops that might sell probably simple spells, but any sort of spells?
Yeah.
A mage's library, etc.
Yeah, there's yeah, so there's they're kind of separate. I mean, there's like a little scroll shop that you guys see, and then there's a little library, which you're imagining must have been what the guy in the inn was renting his romantical novels from. Which would you like to head to for? And there's plenty of clothing shops as well. You know, if Bryceus was interested, or Cloud. You know, I know how you like fancy clothes.
While everybody else is going shopping, I'm just going to find a nice tree somewhere to have a seat under and just kind of relax. Go into my my meditation.
Briseis might not particularly buy anything, but she will wander around and see the city because she doesn't really do cities. Probably the first actual real big city she's been in.
Yeah. So
sightseeing.
Yeah, you're touristing. So Cloud, you find a little tree. There aren't that many. There's bushes and plenty of greenery, but an actual tree to
or somewhere out of the flow of foot traffic, and somewhere that's a little off the main drag.
Yeah. So as you guys are wandering around, I mean, the whole town goes between shops and then a bunch of houses, and then another row of shops and then some houses. So in between one of the two shopping strips, you find a little circle area where you can lean against what looks to be a decent sized tree and kind of just start your meditating thing. People are walking by you, but they don't seem to pay you too much mind. Bryceus, you're kind of walking around and you're doing a girl in Manhattan kind of thing, and you're just like, wow, look at all the shinies, and just kind of looking around, and you're kind of enjoying for the first time in a while that you're not getting a bunch of looks. I think maybe you're used to garnering, stares and gasps and points and things like that at some other places that you've been, but here you just kind of, you see some little kids kind of tug on their parents' sleeve and point at you, but they're smiling and they're giggling and they look generally happy, and you see a couple, very few, what look to be Dwayne kind of dressed people, clearly of a slightly higher stature, quickly walking through with very fancy haircuts, and you see one of the lighter shades of blue that you heard talked about earlier. And you just kind of window shopping.
Yeah, she's very surprised by this. I think most of the places like she's been to are like smaller villages because she's just been traveling, not with any real goal. So like the more remote places tend to be the more superstitious.
And then
she just doesn't know why they're smiling. Like the little kid smiling, she probably just like look over her shoulder and be like, "What did I miss?
What's on me?"
Because I don't think she could afford plate mail. And the iron isn't all that great at the moment. Anyway,
it's probably a good decision to wait.
to avoid. If she's way more practical. She'd be like, I need better armor, I need better weapons, but it's not a very smart thing right now, so she'll just chill.
So as you're window shopping, I assume you eventually, kind of lax behind Dwayne and Felon, who are kind of men on missions for their books and writings and things. Are you guys going to head to the scroll shop or the library? Are you separating?
Well, I imagine probably where he's buying scrolls, I imagine I could probably buy spell components, I would imagine. They seem like things that you could buy together.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Yeah, what are you looking for? They
I am for a jeweled focus worth 100 gold. So I can cast clairvoyance.
Yeah, you definitely find that at Sean's Scrolls and Scraps.
Oh wow, look at that. Okay. I will hand over 100 gold. Also, does he have powdered silver? Those are the two things.
Yeah. Oh, that's you're not gonna find that around here.
Why not?
Well, all metal's hard to come by around here.
Yeah, but it's silver. You can't make a weapon out of silver. Well, I mean, okay, you sort of can, but not wholly out of silver. So
he just kind of lets you work through this. He's like, I don't know what to tell you, friend. I mean, maybe you can hit up one of the blacksmiths down the street. They might have some spare silver for you.
All right.
But, I got some scrolls. I got some fantastic scrolls. They got ribbon around them. You want one of those? This red ribbon.
Not really. No thanks. Dwayne, though. Dwayne loves red. Don't you, Dwayne?
You look like a man that has got money. Come on over.
There's a difference between a man who has money and a man who wants to part with his money. Tell me about these scrolls. What do you have in stock? I would be interested in a alarm. Possibly something to... familiar for myself, the this, the that. What do we got?
All right, well, I mean, I got alarm. I got all the alarms you want. Those are actually one of the ones I keep in stock right away. Those are pretty popular, especially with the fucking Iron Throne around here. Sorry, pardon my language. Yes, I have alarm. I have alarm right here for you, perfect one. Now, you said something about familiar?
Yes, do you have the fine familiar?
Maybe I do.
Maybe.
Come to my office, and he just kind of slides down the same part of the counter. It's just like 1 foot away.
Dwayne obliges.
I tell you what. I got alarm. It's gonna be 100. And I usually charge at least $250 for familiar, because those are hard to come by, and those are great friends to have in a pinch. I know you know that. You look like a smart man. I'm not gonna mess with you. I will give you both for 300. Deal? You ain't gonna find a better deal. Shit, you ain't gonna find another familiar scroll. Not in any of Baldur's Gate.
Dwayne gives it a moment's thought. He looks over towards the front and perhaps seeing Briseis pass by as well. I do already have a very large demon that follows me about, but
Yeah, but one you control, huh? This is a one in a lifetime kind of thing. One that you control, that you tell what to do. That's never gonna leave your side, unless you tell it to. Plus, I got the purple ribbon. You look like a purple man. I got purple ribbon, goes real pretty. I'll do purple and red to go with your little fancy brooch there. How's that sound?
it is a nice brooch. It was a gift, actually.
It's beautiful. You want to sell it? I'll give you 100 gold.
No, it's sentimental.
That's very sweet. You got a lady friend? I got hats too. I mean, I'm trying to multi. I mean, it's hard out here now. Earn some money. You got hats in the back, but it's not working out well. You look like a hat man. You want a hat?
No, I don't. No, thank you. So you sell hats and spell components and scrolls.
Look, I'm trying to branch out here.
Right. Okay. I mean, good for you. How's the hat business been treating you?
I mean, it's all right. I mean, it's not very sunny lately. It's a lot of this rain. I'm really
you need a hat in the rain. You don't. Oh, well, that's.
I mean, my visor sales are way down this month. I can't get any of these gone.
Oh. That's too bad. You should start a poker tournament.
Poker? That's a great idea. Do I have room in the back for a table?
See? There you go. That one's for free.
This. You're a businessman, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, between the two of us, I'm definitely the businessman. I think Dwayne would agree.
Would I? Well, you do seem to come into money in the oddest of ways.
Mm-hmm. It's just a talent I have.
By the way, have you checked your pouches today?
I looked through. I don't find any money. Or no, wait. I find a lot of money. I find so much money. 1,000 gold worth of money, right? Sin?
You do find 10 gold. And you don't remember how that got there.
I said, well, there is this.
Oh my god, that'll buy one of my bowler hats. Have you ever worn one? You'd look great in it.
Thanks.
They come with black, and then there's like white trim on the edge. Oh, here, let me go get it. And he just walks down the dusty hall behind him. Around a corner, like on a bookshelf. You see him reaching, climbing up for something, and he brings it out. And he walks back towards the counter. He blows off the top of it. Now this one of our most popular models, and he's wiping all the dust off of it. One of our most popular ones. I mean, you haven't seen them out there because people don't want to wreck them in the rain, but trust me, everyone's got one of these.
Right.
And he sets it gently on top of Felon's head, and he taps the top of it to push it down on your head. Oh, okay. Looks so great. Doesn't he look great? And he
kind of hurts my ears a little bit. But...
He's kind of pushing, looking to Dwayne. He's like, doesn't he look great? And he pushes it down a little bit more to where it covers your ears.
Ow. That kind of hurts.
Doesn't he look great? Tell him he looks great. He can't hear you.
He does look interesting. I think if you were to include that with the scrolls, we may have a deal. Do you happen to carry any of a higher circle, specifically any of the third circle?
I might. What, I mean, we don't get much of that around here. What are you looking for?
Well, I was curious if you happen to have any of the hypnotic pattern. The lights and colors that stun.
I mean, I have before, but...
I could always just go and visit the library. I mean, certainly the library would have...
Are you going to go to Lenny's? What are you going to get at Lenny's? He doesn't have nothing for you. What, you going to borrow? You're going to borrow hypnotic pattern? You're going to read it and then have to give it back? He's got your information.
Well, I only need to make a copy.
Sign away your life with that asshole. No, he doesn't have nothing you're looking for. Just give me a second. Let me look him back. You guys, get yourself acquainted with that hat there, and I'll be right back. And he starts running back further back. You just hear steps going far back.
Dwayne, I don't want this hat. It hurts. I pull it off my head and set it on the counter.
Fashion is supposed to hurt.
That's why I don't like fashion, Dwayne. We've been over this.
We could cut little holes in
No,
the brim for your ears.
no, thank you. No, thank you. No, I'm good. Thank you, though. I'm gonna leave before he comes back. Okay, bye. And Felon runs out the door.
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
Felon is gonna try to escape before he comes back because Felon is generally too polite to just leave while he's talking, and Felon is also worried that he's going to.
So you're stealing the hat?
No, I took the hat off and put it on the counter.
Okay.
No. I'm going to try to leave before he comes back. Whether that's successful or not, I mean, who knows, but...
Okay, so, I mean, he hasn't gotten back yet. Hold on one second. Okay. He hasn't gotten back yet. But as you run out the door after mumbling whatever to Dwayne, the bell on the door goes ting-a-ling, ting-ting-ting, and you hear steps. You know, before the door shuts, you hear him running back towards up there. And he gets to Dwayne. Where'd your friend go? He didn't like my hat?
I think he was going over to check the pricing at Lenny's.
That fucking asshole. You know, he didn't even look good in that hat anyway. This hat on you, though. Oh my god. I mean, I know your hair, it looks very perfect, but, I mean, you gotta take the hat. I got it down off the shelf and everything. He just, you know what? Wrap it up and give it to him for his birthday or whatever celebration things that you guys celebrate.
That does seem like a thing I might do. I'm curious, would you be willing to put a book in your shop window for a little while?
Well, I mean, if I have what kind of book? What are we talking about?
Well, it's just a sleeve that I've had made here. If you could put this around a book and just put it in your shop window so he might see it as he passes, that would be wonderful.
All right.
I'm sure he will come in and buy the book from you.
All right. He looks at I assume you're showing him the cover.
Yes.
All right. All right. I mean, well, let's get back to the point. Are you going to be buying stuff here? Because then, yes, with the book thing.
Well, did you happen to find any of what I was looking for?
All right. You're getting... All right. So, no, I don't have hypnotic pattern, but I can take your information. You're going to be in town for a few days. Everybody stays in Baldur's Gate for at least a few days. I can take your information, and if I find it, I'll find you. And you can come by it. But I got your alarm, and I got your familiar, and I got...
Did you find anything in the third circle while you're back there?
I mean, I was only looking for hypnotic patterns, so I didn't find anything else, but I can do some research, and I'll get back to you. Where are you staying at?
Staying at the Brass Flagon.
All right, over at Maurice's place. All right, and he writes
over at Maurice's place.
Writes down what's your name?
Lord Dwayne of House Wands.
Oh, shit, I don't know if I have enough ink for that. Okay, Lord Dwayne.
House Wands.
House Wands.
Of Waterdeep.
Jesus Christ. All right. Of Waterdeep. And Brass Flagon. All right. I will, I'll see what I can dig up, but let's finish this transaction here with this hat. So we're talking 300 gold, you get alarm, you get a steal on Familia, and you get the hat. Deal?
And the book goes in the window.
And your book goes in the window. How long do I have to keep that in the window? You said he's going to spend money here?
Until it sells.
All right, deal. And he reaches out his hand.
And Dwell shakes it. All
right, we got a deal. And he starts grabbing a bag from under his counter and boxing up everything. And it's like, you know, I used to wrap gifts. And before I had my own shop, I used to be a gift wrapper down at Cracy's in the corner there. He's got the big shop. And he's just talking about things no one cares about as he's wrapping your stuff.
So I'll take my scroll. I'll take my scrolls. I'll give him the book slip, get that put together, and then I'll go off shopping, and everybody else can go shopping too.
As you leave, and the tingle of the bell goes off, he rushes from behind the counter with your book sleeve, and he's got a little display in the window of a few different books on pedestals and boxes, and he slips it over one on the top, and he kind of knocks at the window. Hey! Hey! And he points down at it. And he gives you a thumbs up.
Dwell nods in acknowledgement. And then he goes to any other bookstores and libraries he can find to see if he can wheedle the same deal to put the books out on display there too.
Okay, and in doing that, you come out and you notice that just a couple like a block or so in the opposite direction that you were headed is Lenny's library that you see where you're assuming that Felon must have gone into. So you start walking down towards that way. And you all are near the same area, sort of. You guys did switch maps, so you guys can see that, right? Sort of. You guys are kind of in.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, Felon and Dwayne, you guys are on down by one of the merchant sides. Bryceus, you found yourself down a different strip basically a different strip mall of Baldur's Gate. And you see Cloud in the distance, just kind of leaning against a tree in the middle. And Dwayne, you're walking towards where you assume Felon is at Lenny's library. And it is, it's west of where you're at right now. So you guys are going to head west towards where Seven and Cloud, or Seven and Bryceus are.
Okay.
Oh, there's two felons. That's where I was.
Oh, there's two felons? Oh, God. Oh, I see. I didn't even scroll over and see
Damn
the
it,
other
that
one.
dream felon again.
Oh, Phelan. I was thinking
Oh,
you'd
yes.
gotten further ahead.
Well, I got distracted.
What did you eat?
Whoa! I didn't eat anything. It just... I wanted to look at that well.
Cloud, you hear the familiar voices of Felon and Dwayne kind of coming from the opposite direction.
Fair enough.
And you feel like they're getting closer and they're approaching the alley.
Okay. Definitely paying more attention.
Okay. Felon, can you give me a quick perception?
Sure, I'd love to.
That'd be great, thank you.
I got a 23.
So you feel like there's a lot more red on some of these rooftops than you're used to. So you see some more, some red clothes up top, and
Well,
definitely see some stuff.
Yes, Phelan.
I think we might be in trouble.
Ah.
There!
Well, I think
It's
we're
that
really
guy
in
that you don't
trouble.
listen to.
Well, I think we're definitely 100% in trouble.
So everybody go ahead and give me initiative.
Whee!
Cloud, you will have a surprise round.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Dwell, I think we're really in trouble. For sure.
And then just to make sure that I'm actually being... Yep, okay. I was being truthful.
Should we be waiting for an initiative tracker, or?
It's funny.
Hey, there it goes. He caught them all.
It's funny because it's not funny.
Oh wait, no.
It didn't.
Wait,
yeah, it had him for a second there.
It did, and then I cleared it to get rid of the old stuff.
I'd be okay with a reroll.
Yeah,
I'm going to make all of you reroll.
I've got an extra round, so it doesn't matter to me.
I did better. Poor Briseus did much worse.
I did the same.
In fact, if you really want to keep your old initiative, go ahead and keep your old initiative.
I like my new one.
Stuff and things, and then, oh my god. I always pick those wrong, and we never sort properly. So, Cloud?
Yes?
That's all you first, buddy.
All right. So, what did I hear them do, say, etc.? Also, who's the guy in blue?
The guy in blue,
it's not like, does it seem to be, it's not one of their red dudes?
No, it's a red dude.
Oh, okay. You're just
differentiating.
Blue. That's fair.
Or die red.
So it looks like they're moving
all
towards...
coordinated. Yeah, and they're all definitely moving that way.
That way. So these are guys up on rooftops?
Yes.
How high up are these roofs?
10 feet.
Okay.
10 feet to get up to the top of the roof.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a climb speed, so I'm not concerned about that. I just was curious. I probably don't see them if they're up on the roof, if they're back away from the edge, so I wouldn't probably see that guy, like, back here. This guy I might.
You definitely do hear shouting coming from the rooftop.
Oh, from the rooftops?
As soon as you hear Felon.
Okay. All right. Well, so I see that going on then, when I hear shouting from the rooftops. And I see these dudes from behind, and they're turning to do bad things to friends. Oh, 55. I would have to kick in some extra speeds. Well, let's see. Dash action.
It's so bright.
The stream thanks you.
Yeah. That's totally fine. We can do this. So suddenly, my kind of relaxed kind of pose snaps to attention, and like he kicks his staff up off the ground, catches it in one hand, and just bolts like top speed. I'm going to kick in my feline agility to double my move speed for a turn. And so, whoops, got to collect this. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Actually, before I start moving, bonus action, spending a key point for patient defense. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65 to here. Between those two guys. And as I'm running, top speed down, I've got the staff like helicoptering over my head, building up momentum with it. And I duck in between the guys in the building and like come skidding to a stop, like a 360, winging the staff around with both hands. First attack on this guy. Boop. Is that a hit?
Yeah, yep.
For 11. That's max damage. And then, like, wheeling back around, just, like, spinning in a big arc to whack the other guy. So the one behind just passed this one. And I'm going to assume that hits if a 16 hit. For 8 damage.
Both of these guys are very... Okay, but the noise came from... But we were watching hit. Which one do we go? Ow.
And he just comes like skidding to like a 3-point stop, like, you know, with the staff up over his head, gripped in one hand. Just a weird angular mess of arms and legs.
Taking everyone by surprise, Dwayne, you see, or rather hear, Cloud, or what sounds like Cloud, hit twice with a nice thick wooden stick on 2 people that don't seem to like it. And what will you do, seeing Felon pointing out trouble ahead?
You know, I do wish he had hypnotic pattern. I've only learned how to do a fireball.
Oh, and these houses look habited.
That's a shame. Phelan, you know how to put out fire, right?
Jesus. Sure, yeah. I mean, I know. Who doesn't know how to put out a fire? Maybe that captain, he was kind of stupid. But I know, yes, absolutely know.
Hey, he knows things.
That
one looks like it's cracked.
That one does.
The one at the top, yeah. Reroll, that one's cocked at an angle.
Okay, so we've got all of this.
Yes.
What is it, a 20-foot radius?
20-foot radius.
Okay. I was going to say, please for not to be torching me.
Trying not to light the cat on fire. The house is...
The bad thing about using multiple types of things is that you actually have to click them. Alright, so left to right, as per standard.
So the one closest to me was the only one that made a save?
Yeah, it looks like all of these guys are very surprised at the onslaught of fire that's coming.
To be fair, I'm probably surprised as hell, too.
that bastard, dude.
The whiskers are smoking a little bit.
So as a ball of fire erupts within the small confined crowds of the alley, you see multiple of these red clad, what you assume to be Iron Throne people perish. They literally immolate on themselves. And the houses around, there's like a small patch of a loose cloth that easily catches fire, but a fire does start to spread on the top house, the bottom house, and the one on the east.
And quickly, we'll have to do something about the houses. Can't be damaging the real estate.
He says now.
Is the rain helping?
Funny that you should notice. Yeah, it's creating a very strange smell. That's for sure. And things are sizzling. But it's not completely taking care of the problem. There are still things that are on fire that probably shouldn't be on fire. And you imagine with the smell, people are gonna start noticing long before the fire makes them notice in their houses.
This thug decides that he wants absolutely nothing to do with the right hand of the fire. You use defense.
Yep.
So he has it looks like he's coordinating with the guy behind you.
Okay.
So it looks like between...
So it cancels the disadvantage. That's 12 still misses, so...
And then a 7. Also miss if a 12 misses.
Yep, my AC's 15.
And Briseus, you're just walking down the street, and you see Cloud jump off of a tree and rush forward, and then the worst, not the worst smell ever, one of the worst smells ever.
I'm sure she saw a big flash of fire. Could she dash and just plow into this guy here? Just like use her shield and just run him over. I was trying to look for charge rules, but I could not find.
Charging is technically a feat. But, I mean, you have you are a master with your shield, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So go ahead and slam into him with your shield.
Technically, I have to make an attack for that too.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have Shield Master?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Slam. Boof. To hit.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy feels very much like he's not accustomed to getting slammed in the back by a shield.
Because it says it will push them, but it doesn't say how far.
Shield Master says 5 feet. Oh no, within 5 feet.
A creature within 5 feet.
There's a separate. I think there's a separate set of rules for shoving. I feel like
a push. Yeah, it's technically a contested athletics check, and it's a push 5 feet or prone.
Well, she'd be trying to knock him right over. So, roll athletics.
Yes. And so will he.
He's not rolling
he is
well.
definitely prone.
So he just got run over, and that's pretty much what she could do. Bonus action. Hold on, I got one of those.
Got one of those things.
Spiritual weapon. On this guy who's attacking. Doesn't hit him, but it's there now.
And your spiritual weapon is what now again?
Supposed to look like... I mean, if we're going by the rules, it's supposed to look similar to, like, what, the god's weapon would look like, so it's a golden morning star. That I need to make an actual GIF for.
Let's see. And then we can do that in the background, too. So, Cloud, you see Briseus arrive in a loud fashion right next to you. You see the thug next to her fall to the ground, and the weapon of a choice appearing behind the thug that's currently coming at you. So, Cloud, what do you do?
Oh, so it's in this space?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm going to put a cart there for now.
That's fine. So the guy with the snail, he got knocked prone, and if they're prone, they can't take opportunities, correct?
They make attacks at disadvantage. Melee attacks against them are at advantage. It's the phrasing.
Prone, disadvantage on attack rolls. Only movement option is to crawl. Okay, yeah, it doesn't mention anything about they can't take reactions, so... But that's fine, he's at a disadvantage, that works. Whoa. All right, since it looks like, well, I don't know. I know those guys are all smoking, and she dropped her weapon over there. I guess I will. Now that I know she's here for backup, I'm going to take one swing at this guy. That's the one that's immediately to my right. So again, continuing to like, helicopter the staff around and like passing it behind his back. Smacks him for 8.
He seems to be very well stunned by this, but he is not. He's not asleep or dead.
Okay.
Whichever you're choosing, yeah.
Oh no, we're not. Or this isn't non-lethal. We're going for the whole hog here at this point. And so if that doesn't take him down, then I'll follow it up with another attack. Hopefully this one puts him down. 14 hit?
Yes, it does.
All right. For max damage. Knowing that, okay, if Briseis has her weapon here, this guy's knocked down, these guys are pretty hurt. I'm going to turn, and I'm going to dash towards the... Well, did I hear... Let me do a 50-50 on this, because I heard voices from the rooftops on both sides, right?
Yeah.
Okay, odds, I'll go north, evens go south. What? Odds would go north. And I will, spring back up from this and tap, 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 and like digging his nails into the side of the woodwork and the brickwork, just kind of climbs ledge over ledge right up and pops up on top of the building. It's like I want to take a... I don't know if he wants to take a swipe at me or not.
How about that 7, though?
With disadvantage, that's not going to hit. So that's like 5... You said it's 10 feet up? So that's 15, 20 feet to the top. And scanning around to see what I see. I just see the one dude over here.
Yes, it is that one dude.
And this side over
see another dude. But
you said this side over here is like on fire, right?
Yeah, it looks like it's starting to smolder.
Okay.
On the rooftop specifically.
All right. Well, if I don't see anybody else, then I will just bolt right up into melee range with this guy and menace him for next turn.
All right. Yeah, this guy did not choose the thug life. He is moving his 60 feet. Felon, you see a blast of fire. You see one guy in some red leather kind of run down a side aisle.
Okay.
And you see, what could potentially be 3 house fires.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is raining though, so that helps. So I'm gonna get to there. Is that guy where he is on the map?
Yeah, that guy is actually where he is.
Okay. I just want to make sure he didn't actually get off the map, but it doesn't show. I'm going to... He doesn't get to escape so easily. So I'm going to Sacred Flame him. That's well with 60. For sure.
Oh my god.
Just barely.
How much damage from Sacred Flame?
Well, we've advanced to 2d8s. Wait till we get to level 7. I get to add my wisdom to it. It's going to be great. Or 8. Oh, you jerk!
Oh,
you filthy jerk!
That's still half though, right?
No, it's none.
Oh, it's none on. It's not on a save. Oh, okay.
Sacred Flame is all or none. So then I say, well, I guess goodbye then. And I use 25 feet, so that's 30, 35. I get to. That's my turn.
Okay. He, seeing the previous fireball, he definitely decides to exit. And now, for these poor thugs who just wanted to lay an ambush for you guys, and now are actually the ones being pincered. These poor bastards.
Whoops.
Did not go as planned.
This guy doesn't see a way past Briseus, so he's going to try to go through Briseus.
Nope. Yep.
His mace doesn't seem very effective, so he's probably reconsidering his life choices as he steps around. And Felon, how much of a physical, imposing menace do you show?
I mean,
how, scary are you?
Did you get out your body smock?
No, I don't have out my body smog. That's probably the only time Felon looks at all intimidating. Right now, he does not look particularly intimidating, I would say. To be honest.
Well, if you want to candlestick that guy...
Oh, I'm gonna candlestick the shit out of him. Absolutely. Wait for it. Here's the roll. 5?
No.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry.
See what the damage would have been. 1.
And he also decides that things that suddenly sprout on fire not worth being around. Guy next to Cloud is gonna try to jump to the other roof. Please don't botch this, Scout. Please don't botch this. He botched it.
Wilhelm scream.
Alright, so Cloud, you definitely hit him on the way. As your quarterstaff knocks into him and throws off his balance, he does fall 10 feet. And Cloud did not kill him. Nor did Cloud's quarterstaff. The fall killed him. Quarterstaff control, kids. Ooh, oddly inappropriate. Caster type is done. So, Dwayne, after you started to burn down the neighborhood?
Well, let's see. I guess there's enough fire. Let's see if those two will take a nap. Aiming at the two trying to escape. Go to sleep.
Yeah, both of them take a nice little nap. They actually kind of fall asleep just like kobolds fall asleep. Kind of curl up, nest within themselves. Briseus, you might have a runner.
Might.
He's on the opposite side of you.
Yeah, she's... Since he's the only one that she can see, she's going to swing around and block him. Sword. That many. 6. And her swing her mace around. The spiritual weapon come a-flinging by.
Seems seems like the mace game is a little off. Maybe it's the rain. All right, Cloud. You did hear the Wilhelm scream.
Yep. I take a step forward, peek down over the edge. I see that he is not moving, like, at all. So at least he's not going anywhere for the moment. I come back to the top of the peak, and I kind of peek over, and I see Briseus fighting this guy. I kind of brace myself. Up, leap from the top. So I'm going to use slow fall to reduce my damage. Basically, I can reduce my falling damage by an amount equal to 5 times my monk level. So basically, unless this fall is going to do more than 25 points of damage to me, I'm okay. And make I think it's at a DC 10 Dex check or Athletics check, Acrobatics, to not fall on my ass. I'm good. So yeah, from over Briseus' shoulder, she hears just a soft pat, 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 and then just like a hurrah! And as she looks like over her shoulder to see Cloud coming down with both hands in like a two-handed strike from like 15 feet in the air. Four. And I'm going to... Yeah, we'll go ahead and finish up. We already... So then I'll go ahead and do my second attack. So for 4 and then 10.
All right. And actually, with that fall, I don't know if it's technically rules as written. But can you roll an extra D6 for damage as you fell more than 10 feet and the quarterstaff fell more than 10 feet onto this guy?
Sure. How about an extra 5? Does that work for you?
It works for me. It doesn't work for this guy.
So yeah, like I come down like a big sweeping arc and like takes them down to the ground, and then like kind of do one of those like, you know, Bruce Lee style. You're not looking at them, but you do the hit to the side. You know, with a scream.
Superhero landing.
Yeah, when you're not even looking at the guy you're punching. So one last like double tap with the staff to the head, and then like I scout around to like see to make sure everybody else is around and okay, and that nobody else is coming.
And at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the initiative tracker. But I will ask, can you describe how you guys are going to help the rain? Yeah, like how is this ambient fire in the 3 houses going to get put out?
I can do that.
Anything smaller than a campfire, Dwayle's prestidigitating out?
I can just shoot some fire out or some water out, make it go away.
Oh my god, that's not a cantrip. It's not a cantrip, and you have that up?
Yeah, it's at the beginning of this day, I was sitting here, I'm like, do I want to trade that out? And I was like, I don't know, I'm not really sure, trying to figure it out. I'm like, I'll just leave it for now. So it is prepared in my spellbook on the character. Greater Shore Water. Bada boom, baby. Never trading it now, it's always prepared. It's got a permanent slot.
Well, if people are going to be constantly throwing fireballs around, that might be a smart move.
Mm-hmm. On that note, Dwayle's like, I'm rather glad that book was accurate on the range. I haven't actually cast one of those before. Cloud, did you get scorched at all?
And like Cloud is walking past Briseus, like kind of, you know, kicking mud off, like scraping the bottoms of his feet off as he walks up there. And he's like, "It's a bit over the top, wouldn't you say?"
Well, I hadn't used it before, and I was very curious. And this fellow looked like he might have some magical nature about him. He looked like he was carrying a staff of some sort.
If I'd been one step closer to you, I would have been in the middle of this.
Ah, so I was very accurate. Thank you for the compliment.
No.
Well, you said I cut it to perfection, just on the edge.
Just shakes his head and goes over and starts like turning bodies over with his staff to make sure to see if anybody's still breathing or moving.
There are two down the alley to the south that are just sleeping. If you have any interest in questioning them or taking out any pent-up aggression.
Questioning might be a good idea.
You want to pull that fellow off for the roof as well?
Sentences I did not expect to hear.
I can go bind up these guys, though.
I'll hop to the roof and I'll like kick the body down off the edge. And then come down around the backside and drag the other one around the corner.
Well, I, for one, am more in favor of helping the Merchants League at the moment.
Yeah, it seems like the Iron Throne is not big fans of ours.
And if they weren't before, this certainly won't endear us to them any.
Well, I mean, they attacked us, to be fair.
Oh, no, I completely agree.
I'm sure people go missing in these alleys all the time.
But as you kind of kick that body off of the roof, it was quiet for a second, and then they heard scrambling up the roof again, and then another thud. Somebody comes out of this house here, and it's like, what the hell are you doing to my house? What the hell? Who is that? Did you kill him? Why is my house on fire?
It's not on fire anymore.
Who
I
the
put
hell
it out.
are you? Well, it was okay, currently not on fire, but was previously on fire. Who are you? Why are you dragging around all these dead bodies?
We're cleaning up the street.
And
I was gonna say, unless you gave them permission to use your roof as a sniper perch, I think we did you a service by removing pests.
Help! Somebody call the fist! Help! And that's where we're gonna wrap for today.
Those stupid townspeople are the worst. We should just remove all the
Damn
townspeople
people living in their houses.
We should just
living their
live
lives
at Baldur's Gate alone with the shopkeepers, and they're the only ones who can purchase property in our city.
Yeah, is that how that works?
Speaking of, Dwayne, don't you have something to give Felon? Are you saving it for a special occasion?
Oh no, there are many gifts that need to be held and delayed.
Don't think I didn't notice your conversation with the shopkeeper, sir.
I have no idea what you're referring to.
Uh-huh.
Well, thank you for a good session and lighting things on fire. It's fun, isn't it?
I think this might be the first combat session I didn't go down in, maybe.
Dude, yeah, because you were too busy, existing in the air. And I think I've seen more 20s from you than ever, in any game before. I'm like,
well,
Jesus.
I didn't roll any, nat 20s. It was just with bonuses, 23s, 25s.
Yeah, it was amazing. You're just hitting left and right, nimbly jumping from rooftop to rooftop.
Well, now that I've got 2 attacks, per attack action, I don't feel as pressed to spend my key points on Flurry of Blows, so I can use those to dodge.
Well, don't you get like a bonus attack?
But you still have to use your bonus action to do it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is like, so I can do one attack and then a martial arts attack as for free, but it costs the bonus action to do it.
That's what.
Or if I spend the bonus action to spend a key point, I can do 2 attacks with flurry of blows.
Right. That's what.
Or if another thing I wanted to do tonight, which I didn't do at any point, but I may have to do next time, is stunning strike, which I can, if I hit somebody with an attack, I can spend a key point to make them make a con save or be stunned for a round. Which could be a good way to lock down problematic foes or stop people from running. But yeah, so like all day today I was just using points for defense because like my AC still isn't great, my hit points still aren't great, but I can give you disadvantage on those attacks.
Solid plan.
Actually feeling combat capable for a change.
Ooh.
And I got to jump off a roof because I forgot about slow fall. I'm like, oh shit, I've had that for like a level now and like never used that because it's just a flat out. You get that at level 4 and it's you reduce any falling damage by an amount equal to 5 times your monk level. So basically, unless a fall is going to do more than 25 points of damage to me, I'm fine.
Nice.
So there's gonna be a lot of me just jumping off roofs from now on.
So, aside from definitely need to work in more vertical combat for for Cloud, how are you guys feeling? Do you feel like we recapped through stupid Captain Surge what's going on?
Yes.
Wait, okay. Explain everything to me slower.
Okay, now use drawings.
Yeah.
Now bring up the hand puppets.
He's not in a he shouldn't be in a position of authority, but yeah, that was a good device, but yeah, I'm upset about his incompetence at the same time.
Oh, well, you're just getting started in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, it seems to be the case.
It's weird. So you're upset with the incompetence of somebody in charge in a government. Weird.
What are you implying, Sin?
Mm.
What's the implication here? Uh-huh.
I have my bumper stickers, you have yours.
I actually don't have any bumper stickers on my
I
car.
don't either.
Take that, Sin.
Now to Photoshop Felon with a...
Nope, I did not purchase that bowler hat.
Yeah, but you tried it on, so I mean, technically you had it for a second.
It was kind of forced upon me. It was kind of at assault a little bit.
Well, I mean, would you rather be assaulted with a hat, or would you rather have Briseis charge at you with her shield?
Oh yeah, I mean I'd choose the hat, but that doesn't change the fact that the hat was unwanted.
You hear that, Will? He wants the hat now.
I heard he wants the hat.
No, that's not what
I will ask. In the few seconds that we had after putting out the fire before the lady came out and yelled, did we find anything of interest in the slag pile that used to be the caster type?
Any of that will be forwarded.
Okay.
Since you were specifically interested in that one,
yes,
and nobody said that they were interested in Wilhelm Scream or poor thugs that got murdered in the alley.
Yeah, we were just rounding up the bodies so far. I wasn't rolling anybody to check them for stuff.
Yeah, the magical-looking fellow earned my immediate attention, and then the fireball. Ooh, the rain stopped.
Suddenly.
Or possibly I disconnected. No, okay, there you go. Ooh, glowy mace.